Hey everyone, welcome back to the All Music Matters and That podcast. I'm your host, Brian. And today, welcome to a special guest from somewhere down in the Appalachian region there. You got the boys, and I'm sorry if I pronounced the band name wrong, but from some of the terminology, they said it's Kyarn, apparently not a word for carrion.
Yep, it's an Appalachian slang term for carrion.
If it's a metal band. So, in other words, it's a metal band. So, there we go.
Yeah. Raw Appalachian death.
All right. And just to fill everybody in terms of the names, we got Jase.
Yeah.
And Jake.
Wait.
Mike.
Buenos noches.
And Bobby. Yeah. So how you boys doing today? What's new?
Not a whole lot. Just getting ready to run through some practice. We have a show this coming Sunday at Al's Bar in Lexington. It's the first show coming out of since February. We took a little break to record our album, so we're excited to get back to it.
All right, sounds good. And just to fill everybody in, just fill you guys in particular, I actually found you on Facebook. So that's how I was able to find out about your band and all. So,
nice. Yeah, those boosts and posts really come in handy.
If you pay. So
yeah, I'll give Mark Zuckerberg $15 every few months. He earned it. He showed us huge. So, I mean, like, it's worth every shiny red penny.
I guess so. So apparently now we finally credit Mark Zuckerberg for something because he's been taking a lot of heat recently. So,
fair enough. Yeah, that's a good with the bad. Everybody's redeemable.
I guess so. Wait, is this a redemption arc or something?
Well, we are working on it. The album is, reincarnated, so we're coming back from the abyss. So we'll keep that. They keep that the theme of it, I suppose.
Oh God, Mark Zuckerberg reincarnated as some fat white guy or something.
Right.
All right, that's all good. But I guess I think you kind of spoiled it. But I guess what's you guys' plans for this year?
So far we've got Holler of Doom. After this first show, we're coming back in Al's Bar. We have Holler of Doom. Our vocalist Mike here has a big 3-acre field that he used reclaimed lumber and tin from his father's garage, right? Something like that to build a stage, to build a big community, and we've been throwing on festivals there for the past 9 years, 7 years, 7 years. So we have that coming up in July. Yes, sir. Holler of Doom, July 11th and 12th, 20 bands. After that, we have a few shows booked in the surrounding area in Lexington and Louisville, Kentucky at the Mag Bar. And then this fall, late September, early October, it'll be Mountains of Metal. That was the festival that started out in Mike's property. Again, same thing, all weekend deal, camping, food trucks, 20 bands or so. It's a great time. Yep. Really, we're from down in southeast Kentucky. There's no scene per se because of lack of venues and whatnot. So if you're from our area and you want to play someplace out, you have to go to the bigger cities of Lexington, Knoxville, or Louisville, which is a good drive away for any of us. And so that being what it was, a lot of people that I grew up with in the scene, they just didn't make it out of, certain age because there's nothing to do and you got this creative energy and just you leach down the wrong paths and whatnot. So I started the Mountains of Metal Festival to try to give people in our area a place to play heavy music that is not generally accepted by the populace that is down there because it's still demonized on quite a level that's archaic and ridiculous. But yeah, we try to let it know that there's other voices down there, and some of them are scary.
So I guess I should call it Woodstock now.
Pretty much, yeah. It's just a bunch of metalheads getting to a field that have been, pretty much ostracized from their communities because of their long hair, their black clothing, and their obnoxious stereos. But yeah, it's pretty much a gathering of artists, in the community and that surrounding areas because we never have a gathering place to get together and kind of percolate any sort of scene. And luckily, the last few years with the Holler Doom Festival and Mountains of Metal, we've had our scenes we've been able to kind of congregate, come together. I think it's really been a helpful thing because make a lot of connections with people. And, the thing about mountains, they're good at isolating. So it's hard to connect with people, even if they're pretty close. And I think that we've established a pretty good scene of,
through that, we've met a lot of great people and great artists that are in the hills of Southeast Kentucky and even into Virginia and Tennessee and stuff. And through that, we've mostly been a live band. We've had different recordings throughout. We've probably attempted to record things 4 or 5 different times. We haven't. We never really were able to capture our live sound that we wanted to try to get on record. It always just sounded quite off. So like this recording, what we did is we put it in the capable hands of our guitarist slash main songwriter Bobby Jones here, and he took over production duties, and we knew what we wanted to sound like. He pretty much made it happen. Just whipped us all on the line because he's the cracker over here. We're cracking that whip in the studio. But I think we've really got a great capturing of what we're about, what we're for, and who we are, and as a 4-piece, it's really hard hitting record. Incarnated is. Sorry to segue into that.
Pat yourself on the back.
Accidentally happened. Watching Bob Barker or something. I don't know.
Everybody, pat Mike on the back right there. Good job, Mikey. Actually, the way it sounded like he could be a priest here pretty soon. So.
Well,
you all reject Shane, that'll deal. So.
Yeah, exactly. Put their donations in the donation box.
Yes, sir. Get those souls out of purgatory, as they would say.
Pay your penance.
That's the roadmap right now. Is we got the album out. We have these 2 big festivals we always go and show up for. There's a lot of regional acts that come. So we're just waiting, picking up new shows as it comes, and waiting to see what comes next. This album's been a blessing for us so far. But
yeah, it's wild. It's a wild album. It's been pretty well received for people around here. I didn't think many people would listen to it as they did because, like I said, we're so isolated down here, Southeast Kentucky, and none of us really give a fuck about being social media or putting anything out there like to make it more accessible. We're just writing music, playing music because we feel like we have to. We need to. We're not content as humans if we're not creating some sort of musical thing and out there performing it. That's where the real magic is. Because whenever you get out there and you get on stage and stuff, I don't know about these guys. I know for a fact that I play with them, but some bands, like I don't know. I can't stand still. I can't quit moving around. I can't. This music that gets played and created, it's just like it overtakes me, and it's very entrancing, and I almost feel like I'm in a trance for most of the time playing a set because I just come out of it. I just get sweat and ball of hair, and probably people's in ruins. There's wreckage there. Tables broken, stage is broken, sodomized. Audience is everywhere. But,
well, there's a middle by 2, so I guess somebody walked out of there with a bloody nose.
We hope anyway.
I try to do it so they don't have to. I hate to see people hurting each other, so I'll just hurt everybody for them.
Again, we give Mike on that.
Yeah, I like that.
Nothing but altruism from this band.
Yeah, not much allegory. We're straight up.
The right sort of altruism. That's the kind we need these days. So
absolutely. Today, you, tomorrow, me, brother.
But then again, we have to drop the King of the Hill reference. Be like that boy and right. That'll do.
We say it often for this fella.
Yeah, that or Bobby. At least in that case, we can throw out a lot of Bobby jokes afterwards.
That was a good segue.
Yeah, I'm always saying, damn it, Bobby.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Can't wait for season 14, by the way. We'll see how that goes.
It's such tragic too. We're not gonna have John Redcorn anymore.
Yeah, John and Dale, which I think they have someone to replace Dale, but still can't beat the original.
Hey, rest in peace. So
I don't watch television.
that boy and right there.
I can't do it anymore.
It's probably a good thing though too. So all right, I'll give him credit. So, all right. But boys, welcome to my podcast right here. And the way this is going to work is I want to ask you guys some questions. I want to get to know you more, both as the musicians, but also as the individuals as well here too. So you all ready?
Yeah, there you go.
All right. So we'll start with Jase because he's been awfully quiet over there. So I don't know. He's probably hiding something. So what did Jase know, which is worked online? So,
Yeah.
all right. So, Jase, first question here, I guess. What's your backstory and what's your role in the band?
So I play drums. I've been in the band, I think, a year and a half now. I've been playing since I was 5. It's always been thrash metal, death metal, that kind of thing. Slayer, Cannibal Corpse, all that. In another band called Pond Digger, it's more stoner doom, but I really wanted to pick up the speed. Thrash is more my thing, so these guys came calling, and I hopped on the board.
Thanks, Jase.
Yeah.
Basically, Jase saved it.
Yeah. That was good, Chase. That's like, I said, Chase, do you know anybody that would like to play drums for us? We're desperate need. Me, you think?
And 8 fiends. We got to hit things too.
That was the best answer that could ever happen because Chase and Bobby work so well together. It's uncanny, really. Lockstep.
That's good. He's the one that's keeping it beat.
I mean, a breath of fresh air on that. It was.
All right, Jake, what's your story?
Well, that's I've been playing bass since I was 15. I'm 35 now. Wanted to start because I saw some of my friends in a middle school talent show band called Jet Black, 2 T's and 2 K's. Don't try to look that up. It's an adult site now. I found that out as a kid. That made it even more cool. But I heard the bass over anything, because it's a small gymnasium out here in the school, and they were playing AC/DC covers, and I never really understood what bass was before that. So I latched on to bass. Been playing it ever since. I got a wife, 2 kids at home. I'm working stiff most of the time. These guys are the ones that keep me into metal and into music. I think without them, I'll probably just dig my own grave at the retail store I work at and crawl in it and go ahead and give it a night. But was always into like Breaking Benjamin and like early 2000s alternative rock and metal, and that really segue is a good word. Segued me into actual, I guess, for lack of better words, metal. But I started backwards. I started listening to Versus the World and stuff by Amon Amarth, and I thought that Metallica sucked and Pantera sucked and all these bands that you can buy shirts at JCPenney, they sucked. They weren't true.
Too many.
Exactly. But now I'm 35 years old, and I get to experience Far Beyond Driven for the first time ever, and get to enjoy all the first 4 Metallica albums for the first time as if I was 16. So
we had to twist his arm forever, just give the first 3 Metallica albums a chance. Give him the 4th one.
Yeah.
And he now, we say that. Then not too bad.
It's really good.
And Cliff Burton might have been on to something.
Yes, yeah. Definitely.
I didn't interrupt your story, but yes. No. Sometimes we drop him back in his cage.
Yeah.
We bust him out, get him all jazzed up, kick him back out the curb.
If I could blink Morse code, I'll blink help me right now. But they don't let me read either.
I said my site's a little too far right here too, so I don't know if I'll be able to read it. So
No, I'm just stuck.
actually, when you were talking about Metallica, Pantera, it was always like, "Power Christ compels you." That sort of deal.
Hey.
This guy backing away. So oh no. Yeah. I guess Mike.
Hi, I'm Mike Brewer. I was born in 1985. Been hell on earth ever since. No, well, what got me into music, I have to say, my mother always had music on whenever I was a kid, from Motown to classic rock and roll, old country to, just all sorts of stuff. Good cross section of music. And so it's always been playing all my life. And once I actually got into heavy music myself, of course, the AC/DC, and first time I heard High Voltage, Bon Scott on it, my life's not been the same ever since. Because that street poet that we all love, he led me on the path, and I want to be a rock and roll singer. I would like to be a rock and roll star. Yes, I are. I mean, you just listen to High Voltage, and you listen to Bon Scott, and the sincerity in his voice is just like, this is the baddest motherfucker that has ever walked the streets, and he will fight you. He will literally fight you, stab you. I'm like, hell yeah, that's cool. So yeah, AC/DC got me into it, Bon Scott, and personally, myself, I couldn't afford much new shit back in the time. So I had to look into records in the 70s, and I always would go and look up. I'd get into bands, I'd look up their influences and their influences, and so the 70s heavy metal is really the transition from acid rock to psychedelic rock to acid rock to heavy psych to heavy metal, and the burgeoning scene of the 70s, in America and Britain and Canada, really keep my interest as far as my influences and stuff. All those guys get wild and going all the place with the guitars and the guitar harmonies, and dual guitars, triple guitars, and good vocalists and stuff. But yeah, that's what got me into music. Like I said, there a few years ago, we started the Mountains of Metal Music Festival. He and my cousin's property there. We built a stage and stuff, so we'd all have an outlet and a place for people to come together and to be artistic and feel like they're not supply alone. But Bobby Jones is what really got me playing music, as far as playing music, because he's he really sucks. Yeah. But we loved him so darn much. So,
I don't have to say anything now. That's my whole story.
Yeah. Bobby is sucks bad, just enough to be cool, but bad enough for us to be on his level and enjoy it. So we all love.
I always say it. I'm a one-trick pony, and I hope people get tired of hearing that. But I'm kind of in my corner, and that's what I do, and I don't really care to.
Well, he does what he does. He does well. So as far as playing live music goes, I wouldn't ever want to be in a band with any other people that were up in the band I'm in.
Fun fact, I'm going to show you how old me and Mike are. We started playing music in 2004 together.
Summer of 2004, in a band called 1134.
I don't think he was born yet.
I was. That's when he first started picking up the drums. Yeah. Remember me and Bobby got together, Chase got his drum set.
I will say it's nice to have a young, fresh chap there on the drums.
Well, Bobby plays at such a breakneck, relentless speed that nobody can fucking keep up with him. It's like
we're not that fast, but
You've heard the album, you know how fast it's madness, but it's glorious madness. Not so. Anyway, I'm stepping on toes. Anyway, I'm Mike. Welcome to meet you. I'm the lead singer of Kyarn, and I'm just happy to be here, folks.
That's a good story. I think the word that Bobby was looking for was young blood, to be honest.
Young blood.
Young chap.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we lad. He got so much energy. I mean, he's been playing 4 years old.
It's really nice.
So he's been playing as long as we have. He's the pedestal of a 20-something-year-old.
Finding somebody that can, just come in and they're right there in the pocket. They kind of know where you're going. That's a very welcome thing for me, so I've always had drummers that I confuse the shit out of sometimes with some of the riffs that I try to do. And Chase just I don't know, he come in and pretty much nailed it, because I already had a couple other guys I wanted to try out. And the first song we ran through, I was like, I think we're good. I don't think we need to do anything else. So yeah, that's how Chase came to be.
I guess what else was the story with Kyarn? So I guess was it more so Mike and Bobby?
Maybe I'll touch on that. Mike threw that name out. It's an Appalachian slang term for rotted flesh, and my dad used to say that. He still says that shit to me. Some of the older folks still use that word a lot. Yeah. And my dad would be like, "You're slower than Kyarn," or "That smells like Kyarn." It's just like shit. So Mike threw that name out I don't know, almost 10 years ago, and we kind of put it on the back burner, and then kind of split up through COVID and everything, got back together, and I was like, let's just fucking use that. And, it comes from our region, and it suits the death metal aspect and the thrash metal kind of stuff that we're doing, so I was like, let's just go with it, man. Yeah. I came up with a character. You've seen the cover. That's Kyarn.
Kyarn, and Bobby has done everything, does all the art, all the writing.
I do everything in a band.
actually made us a
I wrote lyrics. That's it.
I think it's lyrics, but Bobby actually made us a comic book. Yeah, I saw him there. I grabbed it. He drew an entire comic book, made a story.
Really get your crack on.
Yeah, for sure. You can see he's got it numbered, signed, body bag 24. We have a full story about this entity. Jase got this sealed really well. We got a full story about this entity creeping around, southeast Kentucky, and he lives on bong water and lives out in the swamps and don't like all the people doing drugs and ruining the area around here. So Bobby's put a lot of his heart and soul into it. Same thing with the album there. So
That's pretty cool. I was saying something like crossbreed with like Swamp Thing mixed in with whatever that
And I
entity
grew up
was.
in that era. Like when I was a kid, Swamp Thing was like, I love Swamp Thing. Hulk. And then I remember wanting to rent the Toxic Avenger when I was a kid. And my mom and dad were like, "What is this shit? You can't watch this." So it's like a combination of all that stuff. So,
40 years ago, he was told no, and he's been like this ever since.
I'm still not happy with you. So yeah. I should
Don't
say
worry, I'm either.
this is why kids are traumatized these days. It's whenever you see crazy shit like that. So yeah.
oh god,
For sure. We have to keep him humble, so we keep him on a short leash and a choke collar.
I'm not even supposed to be talking right now.
Yeah. Given strict instructions to be quiet.
You just do everything. Let's see what's up.
Look, get down. Oh,
It'd be
Jason will
okay,
be
probably.
right
yeah. Kyarn was the creature who was summoned when we first all got together and started playing music. And he terrorizes the state of Kentucky and all of Appalachia. Everywhere we go, he follows us, wreaking havoc, and just leaves the cities in ruin, flames, rubble everywhere. He's just so sick of society and the sickness that has affected it with the greed and I'm not going to get into it there. Now listen to the album to get the full story, but he's pissed. Hope Kyarn is.
Yeah. Actually, I was gonna say, is he like a Jason Voorhees where he kills all the bad people?
Yep, 100%.
You got it.
Somewhere we put an anti-hero and a villain. It's a force of nature is what we like to imagine him as.
Mainly up for Billhead and the greedy Architect.
Our region down here is full of really great people, but unfortunately it's been 30, 40, 50 years ago, the strip mining came and destroyed a lot of the natural landscape, and when those coal companies got up and left, it left a lot of folks in dire straits. And then after that,
The pharmaceutical companies to appease our woes.
so now it's the meth and pill epidemic. So anything to push back against any sort of
Societal decay.
societal decay that we see around us all.
Because Kyarn is born of nature and it's from all natural sources, and he wants us to get back to nature and get away from all this fake bullshit that we're fucking digesting every day, all day long. So,
Which is part of nature is get back and get even, so to speak. So yeah.
exactly.
Definitely.
Exactly.
Nature's fury. I say.
Nature's fury.
Everything goes back to nature.
End of the game, the king and the pawns go back in the same box.
Wheeling side force.
Exactly.
I guess so. I'm saying, Mike, you definitely got a future as an ordained minister at one point. So
Oh no, I went down that road. It almost fucking
This is all mega
bad deal. Bad deal. Best church I can lead to is nature. That's why I'm bringing Kyarn to towns. I'm going trying to get people back to nature. Get that right, Chase.
Yeah.
actually, I got to do the whole evil thing. This whole deal.
He does that unironically. I'm not kidding you. I've seen. I mean, that means you do this on purpose without even trying to be funny sometimes. Yeah,
I'm very animated when I talk. I use my hands a lot to mystify people. Work spells on them. But yes, not ordained minister going to be in my future. I do not believe.
Someday
No.
Eventually. So
we'll have mega church Mike before it's over with.
Hey,
That's insane. For us, only.
oh no, I'm being cleansed. So that'll sort of deal. So
The album will do that for you. You listen to it and be like, wow, these guys suck, but it's kind of good. Yeah, I kind of relate to this. I could almost play that.
Actually, I was thinking more like the Morbid Angel song, Evil Spells.
Yeah.
I cut you with my evil spell. Now it's time to burn in hell. So,
You're talking Bobby's language now. This poor guy has to live with, hardcore Chase over here, Breaking Benjamin, Jake.
Nazareth, Thin Lizzy, Mike.
Yeah, then he's over here like, can we do a cover of Cannibal Corpse? How about Five Nails?
It's been a struggle.
Like, no, Bobby, no. Can we do Morbid Angel? No, Bobby, no.
I don't listen to death metal. I love thrash metal though. You're not.
Yeah, thrash metal is kind of, thrash and death.
That's just
I don't get out of my box too much. I like to stay in there.
Bobby's in a box. Chase is in a cage. I mean, Jake's in a cage. Chase flying around the sky.
Don't let Bobby fool you. He drives around listening to 80s on 8 on Sirius XM.
Hey, I do, guilty pleasure. I do like some 80s pop music. Like, it's either like Brutal Death
or Cindy Lauper.
or Cindy Lauper.
I mean, you got this guy looks like he puts people on the back of milk boxes, milk cartons. He's listening to driving around listening to Time After Time in his car. Peter Gabriel.
We're getting a lot of my songwriting skills.
Cindy is great. I'm not going to lie. So is Peter Gabriel. If you hear this, Peter, please promote our album. I brought in. Hear this, please promote our album.
Cindy Lauper?
Yeah.
God, no, the last she's advertising some sort of medication for elderly people now.
Well, I'm sure you two would need it soon.
Yes, we will. They say in our prime. Prime, damn.
I was going to say, you lift, bro. That sort of deal.
I've never been inside of a gym myself. Been in lots of junkyards, but what was we talking about? You.
Well, we went off a tangent about Kyarn. Apparently,
Kyarn.
Our comic book hero. But I guess talk about the album. So,
Kyarn co-entity. Well, this is reincarnated because we have aforementioned Jase has been in the band for 1.5 years, and we did get together after the COVID epidemic and all that madness. And so before we had some different people in the band, and like I said, we kept it record many times, and every workout we couldn't get the sound one to live. So we pretty much said we're either going to fucking hang it up or get somebody in here that can actually do the shit we want to do, or just say the hell with it. Go back into our caves. Bobby's
I was like, fucked up because they had me do it. But
so luckily you found Chase.
I was like,
Once you get this one with this one,
spend all this fucking money, like $400 a day to go to the recording studio, or we can spend a little bit of money and buy the shit and do it ourselves. So
Yeah, the entire
it kind of happened out of necessity because we're fucking broke. That's why I did it. And I think it turned out pretty good. I'm not a proud person of a lot of things, when it comes to my art and stuff, but I kind of like this. I'll admit that,
Bobby does all the artwork, everything, writes all the songs. I make them a lot better, of course, but Bobby does most of the legwork. And then, like you said, the album, we wanted the sound that we wanted, the live sound. Bobby doesn't use a pedal board. It's just straight. I don't use pedals. It's from our hands into the instrument through a cable into the amplifier.
When I first recorded this shit, I was going through and putting like reverb and force effects and shit on stuff, trying to make it sound like, an album that you would buy somewhere. And everybody's like, it's an album. We can do all this shit. Now I listened to it, and the day before I sent it to have it mastered, I was like, fuck all that shit. And I took everything off of it. So it's basically just straightforward us. And there's not a lot of bands that do this shit nowadays. No. And a lot of it's like programmed drums and fucking, I don't know, like guitar plugins and shit like that, amp them.
Everything on the album is recorded live, and most of it is done in one take. There might be a few things.
They pretty much knocked the drums out in one take, but yeah. I was super impressed with that.
A few things punched in there. I mean, like probably for bass, count them on one hand, just a note or a ring out or something like that, just to add some girth behind it, some oomph. But other than that, it's all very DIY, very bare bones.
Hey, it's full of girth right here. I'll tell you. Between us two,
everything. Basically, when I was recording this, everything that they tell you you're not supposed to do when you record and mix, I did that.
Yeah.
So
we'll see.
And it's called Reincarnated because we are in fact reincarnated. It's our first album, and the first incarnation was not what it needed to be. So we got things right this time, and we are reincarnated. So that's where that album title comes from. Jase, any additions?
Just play drums.
Yeah.
Chase
Plays it well.
You know, he's been in the band for a year and a half, and he's still like, I'm just the drummer. I'm the hired guy. I don't have no say in this shit. And I'm like, yeah, man, you kind of do.
I use pedals.
Yeah, it's fair. Jase uses pedal.
Fairly good.
Actually, since this is death metal, and I was actually thinking a suffocation song, is it supposed to be re-cremation?
Cremation.
There is a lot of cream going on here.
Yeah, fair enough.
Right to the top. You know what I'm saying?
The only cream we have is all the Bengay I have to put on these two before every show. The icy hot, just get them done. Maybe the tapioca pudding they drink for dinner, you know. I'm gonna get beat after that.
We had L81 enemas before we all take L81 enemas. L8's the soft drink of the official soft drink of Kentucky. Bobby's favorite flavor is the cherry in his ass. Mine is the blackberry, which I've inserted into my. I'm sorry. What are we talking about? This is all. What are we talking about? Good Lord.
He's editing every bit of this out. Just put a big black bar right here and just mute everything.
Reincarnated. It's because we are
Yeah, we're
reincarnated.
just gonna be like, this is Kyarn, and it's just gonna have us saying our name.
Yeah.
Listen to the album.
I'm okay
Something
with
like
that.
I would say I think the next one should be or not re. I was going to say incarnation, sort of like incarceration. That sort of deal.
I like that.
Restoration.
Yeah.
Kyarn's everywhere. He's ever present. You can insert him to any word, anything you want to. Speaking of inserting words, I think I made up a word for the second title of one of the songs there, narcissism. It's the cataclysm brought on by narcissism that we're currently encountering in this world. So, you know how to spell narcissism.
Real proud of that.
Yeah.
I made up a word. Had me on the back, damn it.
Starting to see a theme.
I'm a cunning linguist.
Mike's getting all the, he's getting all the pats and stuff that he's been missing the past, 48, 55 years, how long he's been alive?
93 years. No, not that old.
They spent on the for a little while.
He's got more gray in his beard than any of us.
Yeah, we have to deal with.
Like I said, so hey, it's amazing what you're able to find there too. So secretly, we have a 200 IQ that we apparently did not know about, or at least turned on the other 90% of our brain just finally kicked in. To be honest, so.
I think that's what happened with this album. Is that we super excited about it. We tried really hard. It's exactly where we want it to be. It's not perfect by any means. You may hear some slight delineations in sound, or like some string noise or something, but
That was deliberately done.
Yeah.
Like, that punk kind of attitude, man.
yeah.
It's raw. When you listen to a lot of metal nowadays, it's just, I don't know, it's so like cookie cutter, and it's just
Mechanized.
it's very mechanized, and everybody's wanting to be the fastest and the most technical, and like everything fucking tight and precision and shit. And to me, I know that makes me sound like an old fucking gatekeeper. I guess I am. But, to me, that kind of sucks the life out of it a little bit.
Yeah. Music has a soul. There's a certain quality when you bring people together and they have their own rhythm and stuff, and it comes together and amalgamates into one swirling entity that is
The first few people that we talked to try to record us were like, well, let's just get in here and sit down with your drummer. We'll program the drums and we'll program the guitars and we'll copy and paste and
AKA fake bullshit.
and we for I don't know, it's like 4 years now trying to get something. And Mike said it best, organic.
Yeah.
Like we're an organic band, we're a live band. You need to come and see us live because it just hits different.
That's the energy.
And that was kind of the thing. I was trying to go for that when I was recording the album. I was actually going back and referencing like some of our shows, to try to get tones and everything. That's why I was like, when we play these shows, it's just straight fucking forward in your face. And that's kind of what I wanted. And even when I was going through doing the guitars, if I fucked up just a little bit, I'm okay with that. Like if you go back and listen to like old fucking Slayer and Black Sabbath and shit like that, Cannibal Corpse, I mean, there's little things in there, like Jay said, delineations. We'll use that word. That sounds better. Not fuck ups. But I was like, if it's not that major, and I can pride myself on, I did that fucking one take. I didn't have to punch every single note. I'm not trying to brag or anything, but because I'm not great by any means, but I like that attitude, and I took all the effects on it. Like, there's 2 parts on the album that have any effects, and there's a couple little vocal parts on the end of like a certain segment. That's it. Everything else is
Thanks for helping me out, bro.
straight. Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
I need that little boost a couple times.
Oh, yeah.
A little echo here or there. A little profound.
I would say, when you listen to Slayer's Age of Death, I mean, they almost did screw up near the end there. So, I mean, hey, that's one delineation.
That was another big thing that I was going back, like, referencing. It's just like, Rain and Blood, man. Like, that album's just like, it punches you in the face the whole fucking time. And it's raw, and it's aggressive, and that's kind of where my mindset was. I just wanted to do that. That's how we do it live.
Like the song Eternal, like we recorded that day, and I just wanted to show him and record for him what I was thinking about doing for the song Eternal. And we recorded just to have like a scratch track so everybody heard kind of what I was doing with it. And like that night, he sent me a comment, and he's like, so we don't need more takes. That was it.
I was like, I'm keeping
I was
it.
like, man,
That was just me trying to show you what I was doing.
yeah, I could do a little bit better. Nope, don't touch it.
Don't fuck with
you touch it. Don't even think about it. Well, that was easy.
Yeah.
Well, it's like that's the raw sound, natural that we're going for. That Kyarn craves.
I'm gonna go back over here. Mention Chase again. It kind of lit a fire under me, I guess, because I've been having to deal with slack drummers.
One in particular.
One in particular.
And that was the thorn in the side. But once you can get somebody that you can actually bounce your stuff off of, that you can repeat the catalyst, it was unreal. It was pure fucking magic. I'll go ahead and tell you, I was there. I was with Chase. I said, let's give Chase a chance. Bobby was like, no, a couple more people just got to work out. I was like, he might be pretty good. You got to understand. They played together for, I'm going to say, 10 minutes straight. I mean, didn't stop. Just out of the blue, just jamming.
I asked Chase.
And the look on his face like, I think we found our drummer.
But yeah,
I was there just straight.
I asked Chase, I was like, man, how many times you run through these songs? He's like, I didn't. He's like, I was listening to them at work. And I was like, if you can fucking run through Seeker by just listening to it, and like, I was like, dude, we don't need to go anywhere else. So,
Yeah. What's it called? Synergy? Yeah, synergy. It was much synergy.
Yeah.
Good push for us, man. Like, I don't know.
Because then you can truly create and be the representation of what you want to make, and not have to bend for anyone else. And that was the building blocks. Everything starts with Bobby's riffs and the arrangement of it. And you play it, and then Chase comes up with a heartbeat all of it, and then Jake comes along there that just
Parts along.
Yeah, sodomizes everybody violently with his bass guitar. And I just try to come across the top like, magic. What Dixie does.
Rarely somewhere else coming across.
But I mean, like they make the good cake, and I like you all over it.
Man, I'm sorry about having to cut a whole lot of shit.
It'll be
This is everyday. This is the everyday life of Kyarn, to say the least.
crazy.
Yeah, foolish little boys.
But anyway, I feel like if it wasn't for Chase coming in when he did, I feel like maybe the band wouldn't even have continued on. And just to get this album out, because we've struggled so many years trying to get something out.
I was holding it together with that ring. Don't quit me, boys. Don't do it. It's going to be so hard. Please don't leave.
Yeah. And I don't know, man. I'm happy to finally have it out. And that it's actually getting out. People are hearing it, man. Like,
Yeah, this is for us to do this totally in-house, totally independent. Besides the mastering was done by a gentleman here named Corey, who did a really great job with everything.
he's local from Richmond.
Yeah, from Richmond, Kentucky. Corey Thompson's his name. But other than that, it was all in Bobby's his man cave. Looking at all the pictures of Jason Voorhees and his guitars everywhere.
My box. That's what I was talking about. That's where I'm supposed to be.
Bobby's box.
It's nice to go in and put something out like that we can be very proud of, and we have all the control over it. It's like he's heartbeat organic. It's just something that we're really.
And I think that this is accurate. Jase has recorded 2 albums. He did the Pond Digger album and this Kyarn album, and I think these are the first 2 times he's ever actually recorded. Because he grew up in a time, where everybody just like, they'll hear you play your drums and you go in and you program everything. So everything that he's been a part of up until that point's kind of been that.
Program,
That's a lot of the younger generation. We're old, so it's like, I grew up in that time, kind of when computers started taking over, and people started using computers to record, and like that. Everybody still kind of did everything though. It wasn't, you couldn't just go and like find an amp sound and be like, okay, I want to sound like fucking Harry King. I'm just going to use his amp mods and all this shit. We grew up in a time where you had to fucking make shit sound halfway decent. And we recorded this whole album with a 4-channel interface, 4 microphones, and then I used one shitty fucking Behringer mic to record the guitar tones. And then I mixed it with a Marshall amp sim. So you're getting that fucking raw, straight down the middle 6505 mixed with a Marshall. And I think it's unique. I mean, considering everybody goes for plugins most of the time these days, so you're not going to hear that one.
I think that's a good segue to really kind of highlight
the segue guy.
What Kyarn's all about. There's a tipping point in music, and you can hear it throughout the years, where it goes from everybody being real and authentic, and what they're playing is being recorded, to where the machine started being utilized in ways that took the heart and soul out of music. Everything had to be, like you said, perfect, faster, more clear, just all this shit. Digitized. Let's call it digitized. So what we're all about is getting away from that shit, because what that does, it takes the heart and soul and authenticity out of music and the creation. And I think a person, if they're on this world creating music, it should be the truest vibration of what's coming outside of them. So I don't know how you can get a true form vibration if you just want to, use computers and technology and shit. I mean, we are all vibrations. The sound we have is the vibration of the drums, the vibration of the strings, the vibration of my vocal cords. We are all a vibration, and when we come up and collectively come into this crazy vibration, it's fucking madness!
Yeah, I would agree.
Oh, Jesus.
We
We turned into a Riley right now before you know it.
He gets pretty ornery on stage. We play with a lot of people, and there's nothing wrong with however anybody wants to do their own art, their own music. If you want to do an entire album of noise and dubstep and just use everything on a computer, that's wonderful and beautiful, and I hope whoever does it has a great time, and they're successful with it. We just all came together, and we love,
about though.
You said back, like you said, like with Morbid Angel, you can go back and listen to Domination or any of the first 4 albums. Love them, great albums. Listen to those, and you can tell it's Morbid Angel. Then you can switch over to listening to Jack Owen when he played for Cannibal Corpse, and he played in Deicide, didn't he, Jack Owen? You can
2006.
Yeah, see, like you can just hear those people, and you can tell the difference between George Corpse Grinder Fisher and whoever. It's just now there's a lot of stuff, a lot of the most, and nobody local that we know. It's just a lot of things that I hear, me personally, on the radio. It just kind of blends. They're using the same plugins, the same profiles, and I like,
I honestly, me personally, I've never been one to jump friends either. Like, I don't know if it was a positive thing that somebody said about me a while ago, but Nate McDaniel, Mike was talking about him, and he said that he's like, Bobby hasn't changed in fucking 25 years. I'm still the same shit that I was then. I'm just a little better at it, But I don't want to be anything I'm not, and I'm not a trend jumper. Like when pop punk was big, I had a lot of friends that wanted to do that. Then hardcore takes over, and then everybody's like quitting fucking thrash metal and death metal, and they're playing in hardcore bands. I'm glad, do what you want to do, but man, I'm not trying to be that. I'm not jumping trends. I'm still doing what I want. I guess regardless if anybody fucking likes it or not. I mean,
Some people call it death metal. Some people call it thrash metal. I prefer the term thrash to Latin.
Oh, you coined another one.
Yeah.
Words.
Yeah. Copyright.
He's like, I'm on fire, baby. So yeah,
You know, the thrash death stuff, because I'm more of like a thrash metal guy. That's kind of where I cut my teeth, you know.
Basically, if you gave Bobby an acoustic guitar, he could not play Wonder Wild apart.
I would. I used to go to parties, you know, everybody be hanging out by the bonfire, like, hey man,
Here's your
gave me a
guitar.
guitar, what do you want to hear? Like some fucking Slayer.
Yeah.
It's not my thing, and I don't even. I've got an acoustic, and I don't even pick it up. I could care less. It's not my thing. So
I would do for playing Angel of
I was
Death.
going to donate it. Actually, I need to get that done. We had a tornado it was EF4 came through our hometown.
Here in our hometown, it was an EF4, and
Like people died.
yeah, we had about 20 fatalities. So if anybody listening to this, if you want to skip buying the album and send some type of donation or money to London, Kentucky, the Red Cross, any local charities, by all means, do that and show us proof, and I'll send you an album. Because, I mean, that's one thing. We didn't want to try to promote it because it came out a couple days right after the tornado.
So like we called Kyarn Nature's Fury, and I said, everybody prepare for Nature's Fury. Lo and behold, worst natural disaster ever fucking come to Southeast Kentucky come to town. I felt partly responsible myself. I didn't want to report that.
Yeah, so we didn't want to push just because it would be, just in case it's a bad day.
It's bad time to put that out for us personally. Just into that.
Just so much. I mean, so many people lost everything. I mean, the house was just completely thrown to splinters.
I mean, we had friends and family that were, involved in that shit. That's brutal.
Real disaster, real problem. It's hard to feel good and champion about something you're really proud about during that particular time, because it was like the next week when the album would come out. But it's got some legs somehow. The album does. But yeah, our town still just like there's one section of our town that is just gone. It is literally wiped off the face of the earth. The fucking trees. There was a mile-wide tornado on the ground for 55 miles, an EF4. So the path of destruction that thing left between Somerset, Kentucky, and London, Kentucky, was just unreal. And people's lives are completely destroyed, and it'll take them months, decades, many generations probably to forget and get away from all the tragedy that happened up there. So it's hard to feel good when that sort of thing's going on with your neighbors, literally like 2 miles down the road. Like my sister's house was, I don't know how the hell it was fair, but it was right there next to the path. So we got lucky. So we're just lucky to be alive and happy to be playing music.
And happy you had this. It's like basically our first interview, so we're happy that you came along, gave us this opportunity. Big ups to you for that. Thank you.
No worries. Actually, it was a luck of the draw, really, when you think about it. So,
Yeah, I'll take that too. Luck or intent, either way, it wins the day.
actually, I can kind of segue to these two questions here. But first off, I guess, would you say the weather and I guess some other stuff could be challenges you guys face these days?
Well, I mean, like weather-wise around here, it's Kentucky weather. They say if you don't like it, wait a few minutes, it'll change. But we dropped the album. It was coming out on May 23rd, and that tornado happened on May 16th. So as soon as we started promoting the album, like Mike said, it was a tragedy, and seeing it firsthand is a whole lot. The pictures show you the exact same thing you're looking at. Seeing it firsthand and like just feeling the vibe, smelling the air, and talking to people, and really just seeing how positive and how happy everybody was, even though that happened to them. I mean, it was nice to see. But we just felt like it wasn't time to start pushing it, right then that first week it was out. But like Mike said, it had legs, and it's we went from, I'm not sure if we're ever going to be playing with Post Malone in Madison Square Garden or anything, but we have 43 Spotify listeners. He's great. Shut up. We have 43 Spotify listeners, and then now we're at like 2,000 in a couple weeks. So it's a wonderful thing. I don't care if we got up to 47. I will be as excited as I am now if we gain 4 or 5 new listeners. It doesn't matter to me a bit. It's awesome. Really cool to be doing all this.
The real authenticity of what we put together and what comes from the heart and comes from inside of us. To hear that many people can listen to it and connect it and enjoy it. It's really it's a personal feeling of like gratitude. Like, oh well, really appreciate it, because there's no song on this album that is about fake scenarios or any sort of hypothetical third person situation. This is real situations, real mindsets, real visions that came from us, and that's why it feels good to hear people here, that like it.
Thanks, Jase.
Enjoy it.
Yeah.
We appreciate you, Dave, so much.
He's actually 1,938 of the listeners. He has different. He's got a click farm in the room back there. Just going through it.
We got that bots. That'll do.
Yeah, here we are harping about the digitization of everything and how we hate the technology, and then yeah, he's a nice guy though. He's on the level.
Actually, funny enough, I was thinking of like two. It would be also kind of nods to like some of the past bands that came out here too, but it would be like butchered by Kyarn, and then we got killed by Kyarn. So yeah.
Never heard.
Go back on Kyarn. Kyarn Carnage. Carnage. Next one. Carnage. Maximum
Carnage.
There you go.
Yeah.
One of the greatest, by the way. Just throwing it. I know one of the greatest Super Nintendo games of all time.
I'm already working on riffs. I've got 4 almost completely done. I got to get them sent over to Jase to work on, but hopefully by early next year we'll have either an EP or maybe another full length. So,
and where we got the
trying to push Chase is making us do all this shit. He's the young guy. Like as soon as we got this shit done, he's like, "All right, we got to buckle down, get this shit going, guys. Write a whole new album." Like, fuck, man, give me a day.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
That'll do.
Yeah, I appreciate that though, man. Like he's kind of, I don't know, pushing us. Like I said, man, it's
As soon as this camera goes off, they're gonna kiss so hard.
yeah.
Me and Mike will be trampled by them just killing each other and taking a warm embrace.
Actually, here's what. It'll be, as soon as that camera's off, he gonna fuck that little doll.
Absolutely. Me and Mike will just go sit in the corner in the chair and just have to watch again.
smoke weed in the can. Is that Kyarn fire?
Kyarn fire.
The day of the life of Kyarn. So yeah, there we go.
It's fucking nasty.
Very nasty.
We're gonna have a good time.
It's relentless though. The music's relentless.
That's for sure. But I'm sorry we have to, because I know we've been having some fun right here too. But I do want to talk about the topic of COVID. So first off, what year did this band officially formed, and then how bad was COVID for you guys, personally, family, and then anything music wise?
So
Summer 21.
yeah, the band formed in summer 21. We had a different band under a different name, and then after COVID, everything kind of slowed down. For us personally, for me, we all had it in our house. It was just the sniffles for me. I didn't get any sort of any major sickness or anything. Thankfully, no one that I know of in my personal life. I had any terrible luck with it. But we formed right after everything started picking right back up. We've been stir crazy for about a year and a half while everything was shut down. We hadn't really seen each other a whole lot. Me and Bobby live 5 minutes away from each other. Mike lives maybe 10, 15 minutes tops away from us. And so,
And the sweetheart Jake is, me and my wife and my kids, we all got sick. And here you come with a big old care package, with fucking coloring books and food and shit. 'Cause we were locked up in the house, about to die. Yeah, super good dude.
But I think Bobby was actually patient fucking zero.
I probably was, yeah.
Because he was sick for a damn month and a half in like December.
So I was like, man, I think I got walking pneumonia. And then I went to the fucking quick care and they done a bunch of tests. I'm like, we don't know what the fuck's wrong with you.
Yeah. So
And then now it's like COVID. It just like hit. And I was like, motherfucker, I bet.
just
That's why I had. Yeah. I've had it like twice since then.
Yeah.
It sucks, but it's here to stay.
COVID was like I said, that kind of split us apart from the previous band we was in. It was already been.
In a way, I guess that was a good thing.
I mean,
And without that, Kyarn would not be, and wouldn't exist.
thanks COVID.
Yeah, the whole COVID and like us just not really COVID, but like us taking the time off and sitting and like not having nothing to do and being defunct. If it wasn't for that, I think
like the chemistry in the band before was like such at a point that we didn't really want to get back together.
kind of fizzled out.
With those other members, it was like they just so much shit. We don't even play back with them. So then,
A bunch of shit. When you're in a band, it's just a bunch of nonstop bullshit.
yeah, it's like a brotherhood, I think.
I've gotten lucky with these guys. Everybody, like, seriously, man, they're all
supposed to tell you,
they're pretty dedicated, you know, to what they do, and it's no drama, and everybody's pretty laid back, and that's a rare thing when you're in a fucking band because there's a lot of crazy shit. A lot of times, I've done this for over 20 years. I've been playing music since I was 13, and I'm old, so we're not going to go into that. But
we had that festival that we're playing here next month, the Holler of Doom. I was there, I was putting it on, and we was not playing music at the time. We was in between the two bands.
that's what it was.
And
He's like, Bobby, please.
yeah, there was the guy that
We got to play this festival.
one of our friends, Dave from Storm Talker, was like, "Hey man, what happened to that one band? What happened to Vindication?" Yeah, man, they don't have no more. I was like, I'm
Sounds just like him too.
I might be done with playing music, man. I don't know. At least, you know, the drama should last. I might be out of it. Oh no, man. You got to get back together. I've been listening to you and Bobby plays with different bands we was in. He's like, you guys have got something together. You got to get back out there playing stuff. That like kind of lit a fire under me to kind of get everybody kind of rally the troops. You know, I was like, yeah, you know what? Maybe I ain't sing my best song. You know, maybe the world ain't seen the best form of Metal Mind Brewer. Maybe I just ain't peaked yet. Maybe there's still more left in the bottom of the tank after you scrape your fingernails across the bottom and sniff it. There's a little bit left. Turns out the best piece was right there. And here it is, peaking right now.
I feel so.
Yep.
Okay, here we go. Let's get Mike out of the bag right there. All right. Let's get Mike out right there. Let's get him out right there. All right, you calm down, Mikey. All right.
Breathe.
Deep breaths.
We'll hit him with horse trank as soon as this is over with. He'll go to sleep again for the rest of the evening.
Yeah, I've not had my marijuana today.
I can see that.
Blame back for the outburst.
So, okay. Can we give Jase a pat on the back for the work he did, helping out Bobby there too? So,
Yeah, way to go.
Ooh, that's biceps. Damn.
Yeah,
Hot dog. Talking about Jim Pratt up there.
Guy did all this. He did all this drumming for two bands while he was flying planes and then working another third shift warehouse job and training BJJ. So, I mean, you have Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, flying planes, working a warehouse job, drumming for two bands, and he does it with the end of taking care of his wife here and everything. So the man's
Trying to kill himself.
yeah, he's going to be old like these two.
I think his candle has
Right.
more in
in that case, round of applause. Give it for Jase right there. Take a bow there, buddy. Take a bow.
Kyarn in her name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It also works out.
Kyarn Zuski.
Yeah. It worked out too with the name. His name is Chase Karzewski. But Kyarn Zuski sounds way cooler. So we're just checking all the boxes. He worked out well.
All right. But in all seriousness, it's good to see you all doing right there too. So, plus it's to you and the family. So, but I think you guys have been talking about some of the music scene in around your neck of the woods. So, I think earlier you said that's the reason why you wanted to build a stage at Mike's cousin's house, so you could get all the maybe the metal bands that are not well known. Otherwise, you have to go to the cities. Is that how it goes in Kentucky? You have to go to the cities, maybe get known.
Well, I mean, I think Lexington is the second largest city in Kentucky, and it is 90 miles north of us. And Knoxville is 90 miles south of us. So, in our particular neck of the woods, it's known as the Bible Belt. And they did not really have any ventures or avenues for people with heavy music or hard type of music to play. You know, we're known for country and bluegrass around there. So there are plenty of stages for bluegrass voices, plenty of stages for, that sort of thing, but when you're coming up with some music that is not the traditionally embraced, it is, looked upon with a certain amount of disdain or don't know, they put all the monikers on it. Like, that's screaming music there. Well, I can't listen to heavy metal. I go to church. I'm like, what? No, it's not what it's about, man. But that is one thing that, like Mark Twain said, but you can guarantee that, what if the end of the world comes, he's going to Kentucky because everything happens there 20 years later. So, Mark Twain, damn, look at me.
Yeah.
I've made it, Mom. But
Yes,
yeah,
no one else.
trying to have a hub. it's like if you have certain shows and there's just like no continuity. Every show seemed like just like a one-off kind of crazy affair that you could play at a place that hadn't discovered that it was going to be heavy metal and heavy rock and roll. You know, like Footloose or some shit. So every time we find a venue, we'd have 3 or 4 shows there, and then something would happen. Somebody would rip the sink off the wall, or somebody would get drunk and have a fight or something, and it was like, oh no, woo, cancel every fucking thing. It's all, there's no more damn music town ever again.
Yeah, we used to book the clubhouse, is what it's called, in the
Park there, the state park there.
And we'd have good shows there, and then we would book it. Our band way
Our
back.
shows were fine.
They come in and tell us one time, and they were like, "Well, we're not letting anybody book any more shows here because somebody went in at the last show and tore the sinks off the wall and busted the toilet, and they threw a bunch of shit off of the roof." And we're like, "They don't do that at our show." And they're like, "Well, how do you know they ain't doing it at your show?" We're like, "We kicked their fucking ass.
Yeah.
That's why."
Yeah.
Like, because we would walk around and make sure nobody was fucking with shit. You know, we wanted to be able to have that outlet. You know,
Because there just was no outlet.
yeah, that was like the one place that we had. And
Let's
then
cherish it.
those people fucked it up for everybody.
So like,
And it's pretty much been the same ever since. You know, it doesn't grow down there. Like he said, there's no outlets for anything. We have to travel, you know, hour, 2 hours. And Jase is kind of lucky, you know. He lives up here, you know, and the venues are pretty close. And, you know, Pond Digger, those guys are a little bit closer. So they get out a little bit more than we do. But
curating the stage and stuff, it like, you know, gave people a place to enjoy this type of music, a place to come and enjoy the type of music, let alone just get the people that play the music to actually have a stage to play on. That's not, you know, 4 hours of driving time to come to some place where nobody's ever heard of them. It gives them a chance to be able to play for their community that they grow up in and that they're from.
And there's a shit ton of really good bands in these hills, man. It's, you know, nobody knows who they are, but there's a lot, and I like good musicians too. I mean,
It's insane too, because, you know, I'm sure everybody listening, I'm sure you've heard of Tyler Childers, and I won't drop any names here, but we have bands that we play with that have, you know, they're playing good heavy, just like old school rock and roll, and then on one weekend they're, you know, Holler of Doom or Mountains of Metal out in the country 5 minutes from where we all live, and the next minute they're playing banjo and fiddle for Tyler Childers in Oregon and Red Rock, Colorado. So there's people out here that live here that, you know, do other musical things and have other ventures, but they don't have an outlet for their band, like Appalachiatari. You know, that's a band of wonderfully talented musicians. I mean, top tier gentlemen. Just nowhere to go until Mike came and built the stage, you know, almost 8 years ago.
You know, I don't know if I've ever heard of such great bands, Buzzhound and Appalachiatari. I mean, so many, just all around. And when you get these bands that all you hear and you connect with them, you're like, oh my goodness. Then that influences the people that are hearing it to be like, oh man, we can get together and do shit like this. So like to see how it like spawns off of, you know, because there's some guys that met at one of the Mountains of Metal festivals, just met there. They started a band and they played the Whiskey a Go-Go. They toured the country, and like, wilder than hell to me. You know, if we didn't take the initiative of actually creating a place to where people can get together and, you know, be a community, a musical community, then so much, you know, would not have happened in all of our lives. It's such an enriching thing that try to do out there. It's a lot. I mean, there's never been any profit whatsoever. I've never profited none. But the best profit I get is stuff. I can tell you stories like that. That's people that met there and went and played the Whiskey and toured the country. And, you know, people that one of the first bands one of the bands that used to be around here in Kentucky was Left to the Wolves, and before Knocked Loose. And, you know, that's probably one of the bigger bands that come out of the area. And before they went to tour Europe, they played at like the second Mountains of Metal that we had. And you know, that was really cool. It's like we're sending some of our own off to Europe to conquer Europe. You know, so you feel like you're more of like a scene and more of a community. Whenever this stuff like that happens.
Necrogoblicon.
Necrogoblicon.
Yeah. Local bands here toured with Necrogoblicon. They played with us. We've had Howling Giant come out there and play. We've had 9 Pound Hammer. You know, they're hometown Kentucky boys. Nobody really knows them around here, but they have music on Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Huge in Japan, huge in Europe. Really good. Like a really
There's
good
some
outing.
good shit out there, man. Just, you gotta dig.
I say the talent's out there, but you have to like really dig for it, or do like a little fishing line, that whole sort of deal.
So like I said, we're kind of secluded, man. It's like, we look over in this holler. Hey,
Yeah, yeah.
there's that guy.
Wow, there's strange sounds coming out of that one.
A lot of these bands and stuff too, they it's not like living in a city where you have your pick of the litter. You got drummers that are a dime a dozen. You have guitarists everywhere. We live an hour and 20 minutes south of our drummer Chase, and so we'll go back and forth. Sometimes Chase will drive down to my house and we'll play in my living room, and then we'll drive up here to play with Chase. And it's it's a labor of love. Everybody really, really enjoys it. And that's why you have people who are able to go to Red Rocks in Colorado and play banjo with Tyler Childers and make, who knows how much money in it, and have a really good clout and have all these opportunities. But they still come back here and they go grind out Mag Bar, Al's Bar, Green Lantern Bar in Lexington, just over a weekend, just playing as much as they can. All wonderful people that we surround. Iron sharpens iron. And we're only as good as the man next to us. And we're very, very fortunate to be in a place with a ton of good, great local acts.
One of the main reasons that I felt like I should take it upon myself to try to build this stage and try to have the kind of metal festival that they have in Europe and that the bluegrass festival's been having all year, and damn the hippie fest. The metal community needed something like that, because so many people that we grew up in seeing and playing music with, because they didn't have these outlets to do their talents and hobbies. But like I said earlier, like the pharmaceutical company stepped in and helped us all out here after all that. There was the coal companies left. So I've seen, honestly, the two best guitarists that I went to high school with died young because of drugs. And when you see like all this magic and this light that emanates from people, and to see it extinguished so young for no fucking good reason besides not having a place that they're embraced and accepted for who they are, and have an avenue to put all that energy out in the world, create some good with it, it really made me feel like I needed to take this on and maybe prevent it from happening, so often that we see it happen. Because it's just really heartbreaking to look around and think about all the people you grew up with just not around. And I'm not old. I'm not 40 yet, Jake. I didn't like 40 shit. Jeez,
It's so young.
yeah. Maybe if I make it to next month, I might get in there. But this month, I get it.
Yeah. But I was thinking, like, man, when I was 8 years old, I'm like, damn, how did I get this old?
So we're
I
still
wasted my summer vacation worried about school, that sort of stuff. So, yeah. But
summer vacation.
I do have to say, sorry for any losses that did happen. I guess whether because of the pharmaceutical or something else.
Oh man, it's just you see so many talented people that just lose their mind to drugs and lose their mind to different things, addictions, and because there's just really no other place.
There's not a whole lot of people in this area
Dude.
that you can talk to that doesn't have a family member that's affected by that shit.
Yeah.
Drugs, pharmaceuticals. It's a well-known fact that this area, where we're from, especially Southeast Kentucky, it's just a fucking cesspool.
Wow, I don't understand, but it's all about people can smoke weed all day long.
Chase is getting
Maybe
easy over
just
there.
fine, but I don't know where the hell he's crazy.
Good thing we got a short set. He's
That
doing some good
shit
job
come
tomorrow.
from. Besides Big Pharma, and I'm not a big fan of them. But we like the natural stuff, but then that unnatural stuff, man, it's going to ruins your mind.
Absolutely.
But yeah, well, I appreciate your condolences, my good man. You're next question.
Actually, I was waiting for Jake to say something, but we're all just standing outside.
All his capable hands.
Actually, on a serious note, is there somewhere people could turn to for help? I don't know if there's like an American Red Cross or something.
Yeah, so down here, I'm not sure about
Disaster.
No, you know, like just for mental health, like in general, or for the
I can say the tornadoes and also for mental health as well.
So in where we are from in Laurel County, Kentucky, up here, Chase is a bit more. He lives in an area that's a bit more affluent and it's more urban. He lives on the outskirts between basically Winchester and Lexington, right? Basically, or is it Winchester? So yeah, it's a little different up here, but where we're from, like I work, actually today at work, there was a young lady who got dropped off after living from or spending 30 days in a sober living environment. And she got dropped off with the clothes on her back. She's 51 years old from a different town, did 30 days, got clean, had the clothes on her back, had some money and bought a tent. Some different people, homeless people, stole her tent and all of her belongings. And she couldn't get into another house because she hadn't been using. They told me that because she was not actively using heroin, meth, drugs, that she was not eligible to be in these houses. So there are a lot of avenues around here locally. From where we're from, we have the CCC. There's a lot of churches that do great work. There's also, even places like Walmart. Local businesses is what most people rely on, whether it's Walmart or C&P Meat or somewhere local. It's like when the tornado happened, there was massive community push. But there's places locally in London, Lara County, Kentucky. But like I said to the lady today, they're often overran or they're very understaffed, underfunded. But we were able to get her. Thankfully, we were able to get up with a lady locally who sent a truck, and they got her into a halfway house free of charge. They did a very small screen on her, made sure she was good, didn't have any sort of weapons or wasn't actually actively using. So the happy ending today for that lady. I wish her, Bobby, if you're ever having to listen to this, way to go, stay sober. I hope you keep on keeping on. But as far as the tornado goes, the London City Police is the main point of contact. The mayor and the police are working really well to coordinate stuff. And then the Red Cross or any sort of local church or school would be the place to go to donate for help.
As far as addiction goes, I think what I've seen, the best people to help you with your addiction is people who love and care about you. So, if you're out there and you've got a problem with addiction or, you feel alone, because whenever you feel alone and, the world's on top of you, you'll do all sorts of drastic things. So, the more that you feel like connected with your people that love you, and if you don't have anybody that loves you, just try to be something worth loving, and maybe they'll eventually be gravitated towards you.
If you don't have anybody that loves you,
I don't have any family. I've got to be lovable enough for these people to gravitate towards me, and if I can want to be with me. So, that's through my own personal experience. I'm not pointing anybody out. You can be better. I know you can. I believe in you.
I was like, these are my brothers right here. So yeah.
Yeah. I can say I've known Bobby for a long time. I rode on the school bus with Jake.
he picked on me.
Yeah, this little green-eyed boy always looking around. I was like, "What are you looking at, kid?"
Mike will tell you he was actually the driver. So
Yeah. Look at me.
Needless to say, those kids are traumatized. So yeah.
Well, I've known these guys for a long time. And then Jase is just like he's an instant brother.
He eventually fit in with the family there too. So all right. But
Well, he gets one of our six sense of humor. That's a big plus. Yeah, if he didn't do that, then I don't quite get their sixth sense of humor myself. I'm a very straight-laced individual. Don't like to cut up area a bit. But these jokesters over here, we're in edgewise. What were we talking about? Disaster relief. Yeah.
Resources.
Resources. Yeah.
It's bad down where they're at, but it's bad statewide. We played up in Louisville, and there was a dude.
Oh yeah,
practically dead on the sidewalk.
Yeah, OD'd on the sidewalk there.
They had
walked past him for 30 minutes.
Yeah, they Narcaned him like 2 or 3 times before he.
I was pretty much dead. Like right where our van was sitting, like on the sidewalk. We were just like stepping over him. And I'm like, "What are you going to do?" It's like, there was people over there trying to wake him up too.
That's another thing that I think it kind of goes back to what we're all about musically, and what we're talking about, what we're passionate about is this society and this way of life that they have going for us, that the puppet masters keep dragging the carrot further and further away from us. At least people have to do more and more devotion to the lifestyle to even try to survive and make it anymore, let alone thrive. So you get these people that get have 2 or 3 bad licks. So, I lost my car, I lost my house, I lost a divorce, something. I'm just going to find solace in these drugs so I can escape everything. And it's just the society itself is made for people who have money and can get it on a consistent basis. If you ever fall out of the line of that circle, the vicious cycle of it, then it will take very short order before you're trampled under the wheels of it and forgotten about, cast aside. Those people that are usually in that predicament are the ones who get lost in the addiction and it's not just addiction, they're escapism, you know. They just want to escape this fucking reality that they're forced to live in or have found themselves in. And, you know, by God, it sucks sometimes.
That's for sure. All right. But thanks so much, Jake, for sharing there too. So hear from those gentlemen right there. So keep doing what you're doing. So
Thank you.
He really is a good man.
just real quick, what sort of gear do you guys have? I guess you also use it for your production wise too. So I guess what do you got for instruments and then production wise?
I got vocal cords. I got
He's got vocal cords and a microphone. I think it might be older than me. Sorry, Rusty.
wrote the lyrics. It.
Jase?
My kit's kind of Frankenstein together. I play different brands, but recently got into the Pasty Rude series. Big fan of that. The kit I play is a Sonar kit I've had since I started playing drums, 20-year-old set. Pedals are Iron Cobras, and a couple cymbals are the Zildjian Dynabeats Custom Series and Evans Heads, and the cheapest drumsticks I can find because I break them all the fucking time.
That's why you're buying the cheap ones.
Yeah. I buy them in bulk of those, so I have more of the supply instead of spending $20 a pair. So someone wants to throw sticks my way and hit me up.
I've always used PV amps until Chase found me a nice MPEG 8x10. So I switched back and forth between Jackson CBX NT Concert Series bass. I like it a lot, but my favorite bass and my favorite instrument ever is my Schecter Stiletto Custom 4. Played on a first act, a crappy first act forever. My uncle took me to Willis Music in Lexington, Kentucky in 2005 and paid $560 for that bass on the promise that I'd pay him back. Never did. But so Schecter Custom Stiletto or a Jackson CBX NT through no pedals, no nothing, just straight cabled into a dark glass amplifier and then a MPEG 8x10.
My snare is I have two pork pie 13-inch snares, and one is vented, one's unvented. I used the vented on the album, but for live I use the unvented to get the pop. I get a lot of comments on that. So.
Oh yeah, like they're probably tired of hearing this, but when he first started playing with us, I could hear that fucking snare in my dreams.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just like, I guess nightmares, really. You know,
Yeah.
it's like,
right between the eyes.
oh, it's like a shotgun. It's fucking great.
Yeah.
Doesn't own anything.
I've got a 15-year-old. I bought the Sennheiser in Bloomington, Indiana in the summer of 2010 when I saw Iron Maiden, and it's been with me ever since. It's crusty and nasty. It's full of Kyarn, but by God, it still keeps on going, and I love it. Sennheiser sponsored me, so I buy new one, you fucks.
Prior to Kyarn, I was using the Crank Revolution that I got one of my older bands.
You were using Crank?
Yeah, we had a partial endorsement with Crank amps. I had that thing for the longest time. Ended up selling it for like $500, and you can't find that head now for like $1,600. It's insane. Kicking my stuff in the ass for that one.
Surprised you admitted to it here on,
Yeah. Hey man, if you're out there, the guy that bought my amp, I'll give you fucking $600. But nah, I played a PV 6505 Plus 2 decades ago, and they come out with the 1992, so I recently got that like last year. Been running that. Same thing, like everybody's always coming up like, hey, what pedals do you guys use? Like, I don't really use pedals. It's just, I tried to use a distortion pedal and a gate this past year, but it's just, I don't know, too much hassle. So just straight into the amp, 6505, half stack. been using Jackson guitars for 20 years. I'm a creature of habit. When I find something that I like, it feels good and I stick with it.
Randy Rhodes.
Randy Rhodes.
Randy Rhodes.
I did get a LTD black metal, like the standard big guitar, and I didn't think I was gonna like it, but it's a pretty damn good guitar. That's actually what I recorded the whole album on, like that LTD. All my guitars are on there, but the main guitar is that LTD black metal. So basically straight in, no effects. Even on the album, no effects on the guitars, man. Just straight in, like room reverb. That's it.
It's straight raw, if we want to say it that way. So,
It's fucking raw as it gets, man.
Raw and weakling.
They say tell me that comes from the heart of the balls. So if nothing not knocking anybody as a pedal board, I wish to God I had the money and the understanding to do it. I definitely don't. You try to tell me what a patch cable was, or I learned what a noise gate was after playing bass for 20 years. Last year when Bobby bought one, I've never messed with it.
I had to read about it on Google, man. Like I
probably didn't say Ask Jeeves.
Yeah. Here we go again.
Yeah, I'm sorry, it's getting old, isn't it?
It's getting old.
but it still works. That's all that matters. It still works.
For sure.
Yeah. So this one might be more directed at Mike, but I guess what lyrics do you guys like to talk about? Yours? Do you kind of get a little gory at times? Do like a little kill?
Get out of my way. Get out of my way. It's about time you asked that question.
You've been waiting his whole life for this moment. So,
Yeah. They got their instruments and I got my words. I can make them up too. So a lot of times, previously I write songs for like a third person or something and have like maybe a fantastical type of element to them. But these songs here are really just all about the personal experiences and worldviews and discuss with both of those things. And my lyrics are just kind of, I feel like a lot of people that are surviving in this time can relate to. But we all go through lots of crazy shit in our lives, and we all feel the impending hammer of society beating on us. And I think that's where a lot of my lyrics come from. The song "The Mountain" is we got a lot of words in it. You like words, you like that one.
He's being an ass. I was like, man, you got to put more content in this motherfucker. So he's like, all right. He filled that bastard up.
100-word essay complete. But that song is about. I wrote that song. It's going to be the last song I ever wrote in my life, and I tried to sum up the internal struggle that's inside of man to strive for something bigger than themselves, or try to understand what the hell is going on while they're here on this earth. And kind of like it goes from that to where like my personal ascension to the mountaintop, see what I saw up there, and kind of communicate to you instead of through just hitting at this or that. This is a straightforward. This is the truth. This is what I've seen. This is what I've done, and what I feel personally. And like I said, narcissism, made that word up because it seems like we're all part of a fucking narcissist cataclysm right now. It seems like shit's hitting the fan with more frequent pace every day, and so it kind of feels like a narcissism is happening. Rat race, pretty self-explanatory. There's like a rat race out there. They're all trying to lure us into it. Cutthroat, when you let the wrong people in, and it's amazing that what the percentage of people that would actually cut your throat to better their lives for even a dollar amount or a position or anything. So I like
self-help. A lot of self-help.
Yeah, a lot of inward lyrics. A lot of coming out from the inside. I feel like on this album really distilled what my worldview and what I feel, and what the music tells me to create. Whatever. I get inspired to write lyrically, and for some reason there's some sort of joke going around all the streaming services. They don't have me on there. I'm not an egotistical person. I don't think. I really shun people who are so full of themselves and walk out and I don't like that real proud nature. And it's hard to say because there's not been that many people ever looking at my lyrics or understand what I'm saying. So if they don't want to know anything deeper, just enjoy the low gutturals and the ball cushioning Cobra Commander screams that I let out there. And if they want to look deeper, then definitely I'd give them something to look into, I believe. I'm very happy that these gentlemen put up with my bullshit to let me be able to put that down and have that outlet in life that makes me feel like I'm doing something that is, as the mountain claims, kind of beyond myself, or that is something. You know, we're all trying to do something in this life, I reckon. And if you're not trying to do something, then what are you trying to do? So nothing. Scholar over here.
They got it. So,
Yeah. So like Bobby's like Bobby is like the soul of Kyarn, and Jase is like the heartbeat, and Jake is the bombastic hip joint that keeps you grooving around. I am the mountain killer, so I just feel like I'm part of this creative beast that we've all come together and created.
Heartbeat now, soul. I gotta get going.
Okay, all right, the bottom end, the lower section. You have a whole lower section.
Give me the soles of his feet or something.
From the waist down is Jake. We'll give you the whole,
Fair enough.
the whole thing. That's your meat and potatoes. Jake's the Kyarn's meat and potatoes.
You're still the actual hip. I'm like the artificial hip.
They're just the essence of where it all comes from. Because you got a heartbeat. You made a beat because you're keeping the beat.
Bobby's the
brain of the Kyarn. Bobby's the Kyarn brain.
that's what I was going to say. Corpse Guy's got the neck. Actually, Corpse Guy's got the neck. Mike's got the thighs. So, yeah.
We had a neck, but then we broke it.
Yeah, we broke our neck.
Yeah. You will too if you come see us live.
Too much headbanging. Yeah. Yeah. That's
But
pretty
yeah,
it was I would say, yeah, it's a good therapy session for Mike right there. So, yeah.
That's not even.
Like I said, I don't really have anyone.
It's not even an interview. It's more like an intervention.
Yeah.
We're all here for you, Mike.
Thanks, guys. I do feel loved and important,
We love you, Mike. So, yeah.
buddy.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes I'm defensive. They'll suggest things. I'm like, oh, come on, it's the one thing I do. But you can't be like that in a band. You all got to work together, and because we all put this magical stew together with our fluids. A yummy stew. Fluid stew.
Yeah, we do allow it. Like that's one thing that like we've all come to an understanding on is that if we want Jase to play a certain beat, or if Bobby wants me to just not play a ring out part or something, like be tight in the pocket, don't do something stupid or cool. It's fine to say, hey, be simple, or hey, I need you to do this, and we all give each other the leeway to do it how we want, within the confines of the band. If Chase says that we shouldn't do something or do it this way, we'll listen to Chase. Jason's right, probably. Same thing with Bob, Mike, me, whoever. So it's very, like Mike said earlier, it's very hard to get a group of people together on the same wavelength and then match schedules after that. And we've been fortunate enough to do it so far. The past 5 or so, well, all together, us three, the past 8 or 9 years, and all 4 of us the past year and a half.
I was like, so I hope you got Chase. You better be right. That's our deal. So, yeah.
Yeah. He also has the car, so we have to have him around,
So, yeah, we have to keep him around a little bit longer. So, all right, fair enough. So, boys, we prepared for the questions here pretty good. So, here, let's get to some fun ones. Ready?
Got fun ones.
All right, extra fun ones.
I know he's having fun.
We're always having fun, but these are the extra fun ones.
Oh,
So-
sweet.
All right. So, I guess, Chase, what would you say is currently your favorite food?
Favorite food.
Shit.
Yeah. Favorite food.
It's been eating a lot of Royals hot chicken and Louisville. That is delicious. Yeah, we'll roll that. I got the hot chicken tacos, dude. Fire. Yeah, we're gonna go with that. Royals hot chicken. Louisville, Kentucky.
Be you some of your happiest.
Let's go down the line. So, Jake.
Well, what isn't my favorite food? A man of my stature. Always, hey, my man, always love a cheeseburger. Probably said that word 500,000 times. They've known me. It doesn't matter if you go spend $1 at McDonald's to get a dollar burger, or if you go to some upscale hipsterish establishment where they got chalk walls and stuff and spend $30 on a cheeseburger. It's going to be good no matter what.
We do things different, right?
But fair enough, yeah.
Two guys with a dream.
But it's either Royals chicken is incredible, I will say, but just the cheeseburger, any kind of cheeseburger is my favorite for all.
The dirtier, the better.
Yeah.
And when grease your truck stop or
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna on the wall. Get 2 birds stoned at once here because I'm the same way. Fucking cheeseburgers, man. One time I went to Wendy's and they fucking, it's like they took I got a double cheeseburger. Yeah, it's like they put it in the basket and dipped it in the fucking grease and then put it in the wrapper and I opened it up. I'm like, God, this is such a mess. It's great.
It was the best thing.
It was nasty as fucking cheeseburger. In a good way. Yeah.
A good cheeseburger, best cheeseburger around. I'll just go ahead and comment on your guys in our area. Best cheeseburger around is at the Hamburger Hut in Barberville, Kentucky.
Yeah.
That's first fast food restaurant, or one of the fast food driving restaurant. I remember eating that as a kid. And they by far had the best burger around our area.
Favorite food.
My favorite food will always be fried chicken. We are from the fried chicken capital of the world. Colonel Sanders started his fucking chicken shack now. They're about 10 minutes down.
This guy, it's no joke.
They put fried chicken in their state, continent, plant, the solar system, every kind of fried chicken imaginable. Bone in, bone out, spicy, unspicy. Give me some fried motherfucking chicken. All day, every day. Chicken and taters. Throw some fucking gas station chicken and taters. I don't know where you're from, but where you guys get, but like gas stations will have just random, like the little food thing. Chicken and taters from every gas station. Yeah. Coming to a gas station near you.
They have the KFCs. Unfortunately, the Raising Cane's are starting to take over there too. So would you consider that blasphemous?
I've never ate Raising Cane's. I'm just kidding. I ate every chicken on the continent. Oh my God. KFC's not even my favorite. I mean, KFC's been fucking another tool of the corporate perversion that has been fucking bloated and cast aside all the quality ingredients they ever fucking had. Thrown down the transfer. Let go, roll over his grave. I like Lee's famous recipe pretty good. Craig's my first two to Lee's famous. Lee's famous recipe, sponsor us. Come on, I'll be the chicken man.
He asked if Raising Cane's was black.
I ain't fucking Raising Cane's. That's blasphemy.
I love Raising Cane's. It's not blasphemy.
The only thing I hated about Raising Cane's is they don't sell any sauce.
Yeah. If they could sell their sauce like B-dubs and everybody does, like we.
No, I'm talking like I go there, I'm like, I want the barbecue sauce. They're like, no, we have Raising Cane sauce.
Yeah. What do you go there for?
No, I go there for the chicken fingers. It's on the sign.
You go somewhere else for your chicken and barbecue sauce. You go to Cane for cane sauce.
Fuck that, dude.
Yeah, please. I love Cane.
It's either that or Zaxby's.
We're kicking him out.
Yeah, I'll go with Zaxby's. They got fucking barbecue sauce. It's fine. No problem.
We're actually getting our first Zaxby's in the town we're from, so I'll move back. Yeah. Moving up in the world.
Although it's like 10 fucking
Down the drains.
That's what it is. Lenny can tell you, he's like, I ain't
Slim chicken.
fucking doctor's offices and chicken places. That's it.
Yeah, we do it much.
We need more chicken.
Like 4 McDonald's.
Yeah.
True, we do have 4 McDonald's.
I was just a quick Bobby. I was going to say, Bobby and Jake, could you do the Pulp Fiction sort of quote? This is a tasty burger.
Have some of your delicious Sprite to wash it down with.
He was doing a little comic strip thing the other day. That was pretty good.
Oh, yeah. They call Royale with your. Yeah, I already messed it up. They call it a quarter pounder in France.
What do you think they call it in America? What do you think they call a Whopper?
What? No, that was
That was the question.
Oh.
That's the line.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I thought you really knew what the French called. I really didn't know.
Tarantino movies myself. I prefer Big Trouble in Little China, as I'm wearing a Jack Burton shirt.
Great movie. John Carpenter.
Yeah, we like. That's one thing we all kind of get it. Well,
All right, chicken and burgers. Next question.
brisket.
Y'all good. That's great choices right there. So, not sure if you guys are TV nerds, but if you are, what would you say is your favorite movie? And if you have a favorite TV series you've been watching, feel free to share.
Favorite TV series of all time is got to be Breaking Bad. I don't think it can get better than that. But the most recent one I've watched that's my favorite is The Rehearsal on HBO. And for my favorite movie, I'd say, just off the top of my head, one of my favorite movies is probably Joe Dirt.
Quality movie.
One of the best.
So I will speak for me and Mike together at this point. The greatest movies of all time came from Peter Jackson, from the mind of J.R.R. Tolkien. Lord of the Rings, the extended edition, Fellowship of the Ring, The Two Towers, and The Return of the King. Other than that, I'm a fan of 12 Angry Men, all John Carpenter's movies, and anything 90s action, especially Nicolas Cage.
Favorite TV series?
TV, I've never watched a whole lot of TV series, but my favorite ever, I don't have the attention span for it, was probably going to be Band of Brothers. Never watched it on HBO. It's actually 2 days after D-Day, so yeah, exactly. Time to go binge watch some Band of Brothers. Hurry!
The Pacific.
Pacific's also good.
Really good. I don't know. Keep going.
Mike, your favorite movie? Oh, well, Lord of the Rings, Jake says, the animated Hobbit is really a seminal movie in my life because that really, when I was a little kid and we're going into the video stores, finding that movie, that really sparked my interest in fantasy and adventure and all sorts of shit involved with Middle Earth, wizards. That's a cool one. My favorite, only horror movies I really like are the Evil Dead trilogy. I'm really big into them.
TV series?
TV series, The Trailer Park Boys is probably my favorite TV series of all time.
Bobby's getting excited.
Funny.
I'm like breaking my.
It's so funny because I can all relate to these people and his characters, and I'm Ricky. I'm Ricky, the fucking Trailer Park Boys. I have been. It's ridiculous.
Rock appliances.
Yeah, rocket plants, dear.
No, it's more like a Leahy and a Randy relationship.
Your death and Randy fucking cheeseburger.
Bobby, he's probably got a lexicon in his brain.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't know, man. Like a favorite
Turn your teeth.
out of all that shit. That'd be hard to pick one.
Bobby loves
Favorite movie? If I had to pick a movie that I watched probably more than anything, when I was a kid, Terminator 2, Judgment Day,
Yes.
I would burn that motherfucker up. I could watch it, and then watch it, and then watch it over and over. TV series? I really don't know. And I love all horror movies, but if you're talking about like my favorite movie of all time that I've watched more than anything, T2. That and Die Hard.
His favorite TV series probably Publisher Clearinghouse or something.
No, I was gonna say MacGyver,
Great.
back in the day.
MacGyver's great.
Back in
The old school MacGyver. So yeah.
yeah, old school MacGyver was shit, man. I used to watch it like me and my mom, we were like TV buddies, so I would sneak up and watch shit that I wasn't supposed to be late night, and she was just like, "All right, come in here." That's kind of where the door opened, like horror for me, because she would watch like the old Frankenstein movies and shit. I would sneak in, and eventually was like, "All right, just get up on the couch and we'll watch them together." So, yeah, Terminator 2 TV series. Perfect Strangers was a good show. Currently, I don't know. I'm not.
You gotta mention the Friday the 13th series because ever since I've known
Out of horror, yeah. Like, my
the
favorite
Jason Voorhees,
series.
he likes the classic ones. It's
sense
like
of killing,
slasher films.
like like I'm not watching that shit for like substance, just like body count. You know, that's good stuff.
Actually, just real quick, did you guys ever see the TV series called Justified? It was actually based at Kentucky.
Yeah, a little bit here and there. I watched like a couple episodes, and
Yeah, it was in Harlan has
Bardstown. They would drive to like from Bardstown to like Harlan in like 30 minutes or something. That's like a 2.5 hour drive.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite things that people that are like around this area where they said this and this about that. Why in hell you
yeah. Oh no, that was a huge joke though at the time. I remember everybody was talking about it.
Yeah, everyone's talking about how unrealistic
It basically
5 times.
Yeah.
where Walton Goggins pretty much got that got
It like opened a lot of people's eyes. I mean, like a lot of fictional shit, but like just how corrupt a lot of shit is down this way too. It's like opened people's eyes to that shit.
I'll say the Kentucky backwoods and the crime that kind of goes on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right, fair enough.
Backwoods justice.
Oh yeah, that was Justin. That was a dude just sleeping in his fucking bed here in our town, 2 miles from my house. He's sleeping in bed like before New Year's. Cops fucking bust down the door and blast him full of fucking holes. Doug Harless is his name.
Wrong address.
Yeah, they were at the wrong goddamn address.
And they still haven't done.
They were searching for a stolen weed eater. Into this man's life. He'll talk about some fucked up.
They're like, well, he pulled the gun. It's like, motherfucker, if you come knocking on my door or trying to bust through my door at 3 a.m.,
people busted
fucking gun on you.
Exactly.
I mean,
so I think this year and also
justified.
that our area got a lot of notoriety because of that. Because they still ain't done jack shit about it 6 months later, and it's like they're pressuring the mayor. And I think the mayor, I don't know if he's happy about the tornado, but I'm sure he's glad some of the heat off of it that's been on him the last 5.5 months. But and that's also where there was a sniper on the highway. We were playing a show in Whitesburg, Kentucky, which is the home base of Bucktown and Appalachian, and we got word that there was a sniper on the interstate outside of our town, just shooting people at random. And we was out, we went home with our families and stuff. We was playing a show, so that was a pretty scary time. But last year, our town has become historic flooding, the sniper, the cop killing, historic tornadoes, historic snowfall. So it's been an episode. We're moving up. Yeah, tornado. It's once you hit rock bottom, nowhere to go with that. Yeah, we used to be the most devastating thing about Atlanta, Kentucky, but not anymore.
All right. So I guess definitely see some crazy stuff happening, but all right. Thank you guys for sharing that too. That's why I was also talking about Justified. Timothy Oliphant represents. So,
right. It was
right. So for the next question right here, not sure if you guys do drink, but if you do, what would you say is your favorite alcoholic drink? And what's your favorite non-alcoholic drink?
I'm not much of a drinker these days, but I'll go ahead and tell you, there's a drink called the Velvet Hammer. If you've never had it, you should try it out. Jägermeister, some blackberries, some Red Bull. Smash, but you gotta crush the blackberries in your hand above the glass of Jägermeister and Red Bull.
Already drunk.
Velvet Hammer. Yeah, you gotta be good and drunk. I don't drink that much anymore, but when I did, I drank a shit ton of Velvet Hammers because they put it down so smooth.
What about your non-alcoholic drink?
Non-alcoholic drink. Water's great. Whole milk is really my fucking whole milk is what's made this machine.
We stopped at gas station for chocolate milk or a big old like half gallon.
Milk, it does do it pretty good. I love it. I get from any source I can get it. Big animal person.
I don't know. I don't drink much anymore either. I kind of cut that out. Me and Jake will have a shot or two or a couple of beers, play shows sometimes. But before I quit drinking, favorite beer was Heineken, Jim Beam, and favorite drink overall probably sweet tea.
I think I did Jim Beam. You got to represent your state. So,
Like Jack Daniels.
Didn't drink.
I don't care what anybody says.
Moonshine. We've been.
Oh, I drank my fair share of some homemade moonshine.
Yeah, that is by far the best alcoholic drink there is.
You got somebody that makes some good moonshine, man, and we're in the prime area for that shit. So.
I'm just. Oh wow. Yeah, I got. Anyway, moonshine. Got.
We don't have any bad experiences with the alcoholic drinks. That's why we kind of don't do that anymore. We're past that shit. Emerald. My shakes.
I don't drink, but my favorite non-alcoholic drink is Pennsylvania Dutch birch beer.
Wow.
It's only up north, Pennsylvania, Maryland, that area. It's slowly trickling down this way. I got a couple plugs where I can get it, but fire, delicious.
Pennsylvania.
I do. It has to be Pennsylvania Dutch. That's the only brand.
Wow.
Fire.
Keep it quiet.
For me, just like everybody else, all the other recovering addicts in this band, apparently, I had to put it down because I didn't know when to quit. Would have to just be neat, just neat bourbon, a good, like, expensive Angel's Envy, Blanton's, Four Roses, single barrel bag. Booker's is good.
I like Booker's because it's at the time it's the only unfiltered and straight from the barrel bourbon. That's all different good stuff.
Talking about liquor, and every one of us are going to be like, oh, man,
Liquor, man.
Everybody turning their chips.
my 10-year coins, no more. And then favorite no, you're fine. Booker's is worth it. And then favorite non-alcoholic drink would have to be L8, the soft drink we mentioned before. It's Kentucky native. They have been just a straight one flavor forever. They just came out with cherry, blackberry, strawberry, melon. It's actually made in this town we're in right now. Yeah, Winchester, Kentucky. It's good stuff.
Blackberry's the best.
Absolutely fire.
Best.
So go too far for it.
Yeah. Send us an address. I'll send you a case of it if you're not able to get it. 110% will. I'll send you a 6-pack of delicious crispy L8 in the mail.
All right, I'll let you do it. So, all right.
Now, speaking of that, where are you emanating from?
I'm actually from Steel City, Pittsburgh, PA.
Oh, nice.
Hey, so you know Pennsylvania Dutch?
You know what? I might have heard of it, but I never tried it. I'm more of an apple cider guy.
Gotta try it. So good.
I don't even know what actually restaurants actually serve it, to be honest, there too. I don't know if it's specific
It's
spots from PA.
I've only found it in cans and bottles. I've never found it on tab.
All right, I'll have to check it out, but thanks for sharing there. Jase, all right? All right, and for the last fun questions right here, here's how I'll word it. If you have a favorite song of all time, you can feel free to share. Otherwise, if that's too tough, list your top 3 bands you would consider your favorites.
Okay. You got time to think. I was ready.
Jake prepared.
No. I just know immediately what it is.
He made notes.
No, it's just, yeah, on the back of my hand. It's the best song ever, and it's because of the harmonies. The bass is exactly where it needs to be. The guitar harmonies are perfect, and the fact that this man can play drums and sing at the same time would have to be Hotel California. Bar none. I love that song. The Eagles are great. Top 3 bands, just add on to that, and there's, Guilty Pleasure, Something I Love, and then Something Timeless. Top 3 bands, Guilty Pleasure is Breaking Benjamin, just went solid in Nashville, incredible, love them. Obituary is probably my favorite. Obituary, Dying Fetus, favorite death metal band, and then Timeless, Leonard Skinner, you cannot give me enough, and Blues Brothers. So there you go, there's like 8. But Breaking Benjamin, Blues Brothers, and Skinner. I'll do that. We love metal. We all know that. So, who's next? Who knows enough?
I guess I'll go Slayer and Suicidal Tendencies, and then
Joni Mitchell.
yeah. I guess my third one, probably. I'll go with Misfits.
Was it 3 bands or 3 albums? 3 bands.
Oh, 3 bands. I couldn't tell you a song. My current favorite song right now that I've been jamming every day is probably "Meet Me Halfway" by Black Eyed Peas. Getting some Fergie in, so
Guilty pleasure. So, yeah.
All right, God, here we go.
All right, 3 songs or 3 bands and 1 song. Just say the name.
I think one of my favorite bands of all time is Budgie. I think another one of my favorite bands of all time is going to be April Wine. And then AC/DC, Bon Scott, Black Sabbath, Motorhead, Thin Lizzy. I can't count. Albums I listen to the most. I mean, Leonard Skinner, ABBA.
He does love ABBA, strangely enough.
Yeah.
This man, like, you know,
Women and the voices of angels.
yeah, out of all the things that you could love and be obsessed with, this man loved ABBA.
I rode 2 hours with him. Wherever the fuck.
You cannot
It was all ABBA.
with the song structure and the melodies and harmonies that ABBA put together. I just can't do it.
Favorite
Like,
band
give me a man after midnight. I ain't done talking yet. I need someone to help me chase the shadows away.
ABBA.
Give me a man after that night. You know what I'm saying?
ABBA,
Take me to the
AC/DC.
darkness, to the light of the day.
Probably Led Zeppelin or something.
Dude,
Oh, him, yeah.
me? I love Led Zeppelin. I love AC/DC. I love 70s hard rock, heavy metal. And I love the 80s stuff too, but now I love the 80s stuff made me look back into the 70s.
Three bands, one song.
Uncle Dave Macon. All right. Body.
I'll go with the bands that like influenced me to actually pick up a fucking guitar and learn.
Buddy Holly. Big Bopper.
Favorite song of all time, probably Dyer's Eve, Metallica, because that's just a fucking thrasher.
What?
I mean, probably. I mean, Metallica's the band that got me started on everything. So
I've been just
three bands, probably Metallica, like Slayer, Campbell Horse, and that's probably the order I started listening to this shit. So, yeah, there we go.
Judas Priest. Judas Priest.
Guilty pleasure, Judas Priest. So yeah.
So good. More again in the 70s. Everything was so much better in the 70s. The Scorpions, better in the 70s. Priest, better in the 70s.
I'm really good at guitar in that.
Ford Trucks, better in the 70s.
Van Halen, Ben Lizzy.
Mhm.
Better in the 70s.
Swing
See.
guitars, man. Swing guitars. When they come out with those, like I said, it's just to me, I'll take 30 seconds here to
All the way here, he's like, man, we don't need another guitar player. And I was like, twin guitars, man. Twin guitars. I'm like, dude, just throw me a bone.
Yeah, to me, like, you know, heavy metal and that the evolution of heavy music and all that stuff right there. It's just the truest form of like a person's expression as far as you know. So like
Let's get too deep.
it's all
It's just three to tell him off. Yeah. Let's go.
I can't count.
Next question.
I'll say Bobby, hit Mike right now.
Yeah, I deserve it. I can
I
handle it.
watched this man take lawn furniture and smash it against the side of somebody's house because the 1980s existed.
Yeah, society peaked in 1979. That's all there is to it. It fucking went up. Rock and roll, hell yeah, all that good shit. LSD, woo, woo, woo. 1980. Oh, you taking over. Fucking like charting music. People suck dick. That's fucking terrible.
Man says that after saying ABBA's his favorite band. As if
I didn't say my favorite.
as if it's not technology and they suck all the
I
time.
don't know what that. Ask me who his favorite band is. He'll say ABBA too.
I thought it was the Beatles.
Yeah.
I don't judge. So I mean, like whatever floats your boat. So
But there's music that like speaks from the heart. It's really good, and if it's got a fucking good groove to it, man alive. That's why it's
I've already forgot what I
like
said.
Sabbath and stuff.
there was Slayer, Cannibal Corpse, and
Metallica. All right, yeah.
it was Metallica. Yeah.
Easy.
Without Metallica, though, I would not probably be like Bon Scott.
Some people like the younger generation want to give Metallica shit too, states. But without that band,
First of
there
all,
would be none of this.
they inched music forward evolution. Like heavy music is an evolution thing, and they were the
Maybe Exodus
that took all the new wave of British heavy metal and stuff in there.
I was like heavy metal, like real hard, like trying to figure out like Slayer, Exodus, man. Come on.
First couple of Def Leppard
Slayer.
albums.
Slayer. I mean, they would have carried the torch.
Yeah, Slayer.
in April.
far surpass Metallica.
I just like Hotel California.
That's one thing.
I hear it
about
too many times, so I'm starting to hate Hotel California now. So yeah.
Wait a minute. Pennsylvania is not that far away, Buster. You know what I mean? Like you start talking about the Eagles like that, I'm coming after you. I hit that turnpike. I'll be there.
Remember that lady he was sending you?
Yeah.
Poison.
I'll poison now.
So I guess we won't be ordering anything from Kentucky anytime soon. So
Give it a minute. Settle down.
Got to stand up. We both got to stand her up.
all right. So boys, we're down to one more question on my podcast right here. Before we jump into it, would you guys like to ask me a question or say any final words before we jump into it?
What are your 3 favorite bands and favorite song?
Well, favorite song. I think I have to go with Between the Buried and Bees, Hands of the Sky. So,
Yeah, fair enough.
you know what? I was so pissed. I kind of wish that was the encore because Between the Buried and Bees, they come through my neck of the woods. And they did the encore of Laser Speak because they were doing 2 of their albums, Coma, Eclectic, and then Alaska. So, I kind of wish they did Hands of the Sky to kind of close that one out. So, I'll say favorite song there. And if I had to pick top 3 bands, I'll go Van Halen because I listened to him a good bit way back in the day. So I couldn't tell you how many times I abused my cassette tapes just to actually listen to maybe more so Fair Warning, probably the most, to be honest. So, but I'll say Dying Fetus because they got me into death metal.
Mm-hmm.
There we go, do that. And hold on, we got the Spock. So there we go.
Hey, the little crossword, really.
That too. But the third one, huh? I'll say Misery Index.
I see that. That's a no, that come on the left field, but big respect for it. Misery Index is really good. I've never been big into it, but yeah, that's pretty unique. That's cool. Alaska's a classic album. Classic. Very good.
I would say they're like Dying Fetus 2.0 because Jason Netherton played with Dying Fetus back in the day, so it's pretty much a offspring, to say the least, of Dying Fetus. So
That's cool. I didn't know that.
anything else from anybody?
Do you like cheeseburgers?
Love cheese. I had two cheeseburgers today.
When and this podcast, what made you want to start the podcast?
Well, I've been seeing the way it. Let's see. It started during COVID, actually. More so, it started in 2021, and I forget how I stumbled upon the word podcast itself, but I think I was just looking for something to do. And when I finally looked up the definition, as well as like even seeing some videos, as well as like what people would consider like their podcast, for instance, that they were just maybe putting on YouTube, it just looked like a genuine conversation, maybe with questions and a script, maybe something here and there. But I mean, it was like, hey, I could do that. And I decided to focus around music. So they gave me something to do during COVID. So that's how All Music Matters and that started.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad that you found the word and we got to do this. This has been awesome.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
Yeah, except the parts of Mike's been talking.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. Look, he's gonna put me back in my fucking box after this. Half rations all week.
You feed them from your own teeth.
The Reverend Mike has been speaking here, buddy. So be careful.
Man, I guess that is what it is.
You boys ready?
I guess I'm ordained now.
Fair enough.
So what do you feel about Aaron Rodgers coming to Pittsburgh? Do you give a shit?
Not really. At this point, it's whatever. At this point, I can't do anything. So
We're so far away from our professional teams. The Cincinnati Bengals is the closest pro football team, or the Tennessee Titans, and both of those are just, perpetually the shittiest teams in the nation.
Cincinnati's great. They've got a lot of good talent. I'm a Cleveland Browns fan, and so I have no room to talk here. So we'll see you twice this year, though. If we get you in Baltimore, it's like 4 Super Bowls. We'll lose the other 12 games, but those 4 I'm excited for.
and like I said, against Cincy,
Cincy's okay. Bengals, they're pretty good. Me and my son went to the Browns Bengals game last year, and it was a blast. We're going to try to go to Baltimore and Cleveland game this year in November. So. Mm-hmm.
Odell Bowl.
Any questions for our glorious and wonderful host?
Are you really glorious and wonderful as he claims you are?
As glorious as I could be. So,
In the flesh.
Yeah, I applaud you for glorious.
That's it, my man.
godly. I got my godly presence. That's what we say. Yeah.
Very godly man.
I would say I am the demiurge, the being that created the universe and came down and descended upon humanity. So you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. I'm sorry. Mike will get on his hands and knees in just a second. I promise you.
I got bad knees.
Too bad.
Come on down. On your knees.
On your knees and beg for forgiveness, infidel. So yeah.
Blue Oyster Cult. I gotta give them a pro. They said again their own live show. They say on your feet or on your knees for Blue Oyster Cult.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Blue Oyster Cult, the fucking American heavy metal band that said he's one of the few badass.
You are the best. You got the best. The heaviest band in the world. Kiss. So,
Jake loves Kiss.
I hate Kiss. I hate Kiss. Thanks.
Kiss has a couple of good albums, but man, they've been riding them too. They've been milking them motherfuckers for a long time.
60 years.
Yeah. The best Kiss album is Ace Frehley's solo album from that four era. That's like, it's wow.
I guess Bobby and Mike, you guys good?
We good? What we doing something?
Are you ready? You go to the last question.
My brain.
The big one.
We got one more. We're about the 2-hour mark, so we're doing good. So, all right. So here's how it goes. All right. But JC, you go first, so we'll just go down the line. So, Bobby, you get to close it out here. But here's how it goes. So, back then, I used to say this question was more so directed towards COVID, but I think these days we get hit with a lot more negativity. In your case, you see a drug problem, depression, and that sort of stuff. So, to combat that negativity and anything else that's going on in the world, what would be your message of hope for musicians and people out there so they can move forward with their lives?
I would say just don't care so much, whether that's about what people think, what your job thinks. Just do you, and just keep on trucking. Fuck the rest, and eat your nut.
He took the words right out of my mouth. Now I'm like trying to think of something.
Message of hope. He should die. Kate's already said it.
I think people buy in too much to what people think and their status, and I've learned a lot myself just in these last couple of years with these two bands, and it's like I go hang out with people or meet people, or work with people, whatever, and the different things I do, and just like coming back to the bands and seeing how we connect through music and how we hang out and support each other, and just how genuine it is rather than everything outside of that. It's it just goes back to that, like, wow, like I'm trying so hard for these people that don't care about me, or I'm worried about my status or money or whatever, and in the end it doesn't matter. And something I've been talking a lot about recently is just like, I know that at the end of the day I can go to bed happy knowing that I've done the right thing and that I'm a genuine person, and I've never fucked anyone over. I've done my part right, and I'm good with that, and it'll come back around in the end.
Yeah. So adversity introduces us to ourselves. If you're struggling, if you're going through anything, I think the best thing you can do is challenge it, face it head on, and run directly into the fray. Become uncomfortable and just challenge yourself. Make yourself better. Tear yourself down and build yourself back up. There's a lot of rewards that come by hearing, not by work. So you can always make sure that you listen and you apply. You listen to the love that you get from people, you apply it back to folks. Be generous, be courteous. The manners maketh man. Take care of each other. Be honorable. Remember where you come from. Just be everything that your ancestors, basically, where they took care of themselves, their families. They were proud of who they were. They were proud of their traditions. For a long time, I didn't want to speak and say things like "I reckon" or "I don't care" over yonder. So I thought it was very dumb and everything. Yeah. Very jaded and cynical in my youth, and it made me very, very unhappy to not just accept things the way that they are, meet them with the same intensity, and grow. If you're not growing, you're not doing anything. Life's all about growth. So keep your head up, stay positive, because we're all eating shit. I'll eat a shit sandwich at the same time, just sometimes yours might be more soggy than mine. Stay positive, stay full of love and hope for everybody, and don't give up.
Good job.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks.
Positive and hopeful.
That's actually the back of Dr. Phil's latest book. I memorized it before it said how positive and hope.
Question?
You repeat the question for Mike?
What's the question? I done got inspired over here. I don't know what's going on.
All right. It's what would be your message of hope for people who are struggling, whether because of addiction, that sort of stuff? What would be your message of hope so they can move forward?
Be inside this album right here. Everything you ever need to know, guiding in life. I put it all in here. One low price, $13.99. No, I think this goes back to what I was saying earlier. Is that we all have a vibration inside of us, and we all have a spark of life. And if you can really look to sit down and figure out what drives you and how you can better your existence on this planet, and not just exist as another peg in the pegboard, or you can make your own individual good and make your own individual mark. And I think there's people out there that are meant to be listeners, and some meant to be producers, some meant to be whatever. But best advice I can give you is follow your heart, and don't let people that are just afraid to follow their own heart drag you down to their level, because the norm is this bullshit up grind brain fog that we're all fucking lulled into in every place we turn. So if you can rise above and get out of brain fog, actually do something with your life that you enjoy and you're proud of, please do it with everything that you have inside of you, because the world needs you. So much bad shit and so much negativity. It's so much easier to lay down and take it, stand up and fight what you believe is right or what you feel inside. So, without further ado, you came this far. Don't be giving up now.
I'm the last motherfucker you want to ask this question, dude. I've got horrible anxiety. I am the most pessimistic motherfucker you'll ever meet. And I'm negative. Everybody knows that.
No.
And I feel like all of those messages were directed at me. I'm just going into it, like Jase said, getting down, motherfuckers. Nah,
Man, what's the eat shop and
yeah,
live?
Fuck what everybody thinks.
I don't.
Do what you want to do, man. Don't worry so much about what everybody thinks, like Jase said. And ultimately, that's the best route to take. Like I had people talking to me about this album, like, oh man, we had a guy that said he wouldn't let that shit out of his fucking bedroom when he first heard it. And I was like, man, I've not even finished mixing it or anything. I'm not gonna mention names, but the guy knows who I'm talking about. And that whole eat shit and die, that's kind of directed at people like that, because I'm doing what I want to do and I don't give a fuck what you want to do. And if you have that mentality, that's a good way to be. Don't worry about them. Just do what you're doing. You'll get through it.
You have to stand for something or you fall for anything.
Saw that on a shot glass and I was getting a cheeseburger. Michael, see, he's learning to read.
The chicken and taters.
I hope the language is okay. I mean, I'm horrible with my cursing. It's something I'm trying to work on, but
Didn't mommy teach you any manners? So,
Too busy making him.
My mom and dad are always getting on to me, have for years. Like, why do you talk like that? I'm like, man, I used to ride around with my papa and my dad. And them motherfuckers. That's where I learned a lot of my colorful language. Thanks, guys.
It's all good though. We got First Amendment rights, so we're all good. We
No,
can't show this to the kids. We can't show this to the kids. So
sorry, children.
Our
It's okay,
kids
Jake.
came-
You cover
we
your
did, We
eyes.
did do one other interview, actually. We did a Super State show. A little interview. It's a guy based out of Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And our kids watched that. So I got home, I was like, who let you guys watch that shit? You're supposed to be in the bed.
You're not supposed to see the interview Daddy had with the devil.
Yeah.
That was private property.
that's why on YouTube they gave us that option to at least to show it for adults only. So
Yeah.
Wisdom.
and leave the kids out. So
Gotta protect the kids.
Well, you're editing this, so you cut out like 75% of it. That's pretty good, man. So,
oh no, this is authentic here, buddy. We're going with it all. So
hell yeah.
Yeah,
It's all gonna be Jake. It's just him, Jake. The one question, then Jake telling everything. The edits, the master
Okay.
edit.
I guess. But spoken like a bunch of true prodigies. So all right. So everyone, we each have a podcast right here. We talked for a good 2 hours and 10 minutes actually.
Nice.
Killed it. So
There goes band practice.
yep, just real quick. Not yet. I was gonna say, wait, you got any shout outs you want to give? Say any final words?
Everybody around us, all of our peers, the guys, Jason, the man, Pond Digger, Shane, Dakota, you all are awesome. Thank you for always helping us and pushing us.
Yeah,
John,
great man.
Matt, and Patrick
Dakota,
in Appalachian Tari.
my favorite.
Yeah, our favorite, Willie Joe, Russ, Dakota again, pulling double duty as a drummer in Buzzhound, the Storm Toker Camp, Banshee, all the people that we have around here, our families, our wives, our kids, the people that make us, they get us to get up every day and go eat shit at 9 to 5 and then come and make time to do this and speak to awesome people like you. So that'd be mine. Else any addendums?
All those. Shout out Gabe, Chris.
Hey, pig smoochers fly.
My wife and kids, like without them pushing me along, I would probably have. We're not going to that. Anyway, but them, you for checking us out, man,
Yeah.
and everybody that's like stream that shit, because I'm the guy that's like, oh man, streaming sucks. Let's not do that. Let's not put this out for everybody. But I'm glad we did.
Yeah.
I think it's like only available on a dirty cassette.
Yeah.
You gotta go to Jake's place to buy it.
So yeah, man, and all the people that he just mentioned, Chase for coming along, and keeping us together. Mike for he had a brain tumor like the last 6 months and it dissipated, thank God. So
They got me back.
Yeah.
Got me back. Yeah, I think the surgeons that got rid of that.
He's blessed. So yeah.
I'd like to thank these guys because, wow, I mean, I feel so lucky to be able to create art and to scream and holler stuff that is genuinely from my heart to the top of my lungs and perform it to the best of my ability, and to give them the palette to paint on and to play. I feel so lucky to be involved with these three gentlemen right here. So thank you guys so very much.
Thank you.
I'd like to thank the Academy.
Oh, my years.
My son, my daughter are the most important things in the world, and they love their dad and support him no matter what. My soon-to-be wife, Angela, appreciate you, babe. Yeah. Everybody else that's involved in the music community in Southeast Kentucky are really just some of the best world-class musicians. That are some of the most awesome, genuine, down-to-earth people, like Jake mentioned, that really makes it all worthwhile, all the BS that you have to fight through and the red tape you have to cut to make it all happen, to all come together and all be our truest forms of ourselves, doing our thing, and how people are doing their thing too. Damn, what a luxurious existence we have here, that we're able to do that and not in some sort of forced labor camp, which is the next step of the fucking process.
Run us over.
We haven't let Mike talk in a little while.
Yeah, there's a lot of people I'd like to big smooch too. Moose. Yeah, Moose is all right. The hair. My cousin Lowell for believing in my crazy idea that we could, build us a stage and then make an outlet for people, and I know we had to sacrifice the hayfield, But I think there's been so much good come out of that holler that it really is. It's been a safe haven for a lot of people that feel like they have no place to go, musically and artistically, and just the outcast of all the communities that come together for Mountains of Metal and Holler of Doom. And I thank everybody that's ever came to a Kyarn show or ever listened to our stuff. Appreciate you for hanging out and not saying, "Now they suck," and go turn around. I love it when when we play music, people can't fucking control themselves. People look like fucking pelicans everywhere around here. There's shit everywhere. Fish flying. I mean, swords come out. It's all energy. And it's all just a natural reaction from the vibration that we're putting forth. They connect with it and they feel the license that they can just, indulge themselves in music and be immersive in it.
And we thank them.
Thank you guys so much. Yeah. That energy that they put out when we play live is what fuels us and what charges us back and be like, fuck yeah, did you see that person? Yeah, they lost 3 teeth.
So yeah, thanks everybody.
Yeah. Thank you for sitting out and spend a couple hours of your life talking to a few wild musicians from the southeast Kentucky part of this country.
You're an honorary Appalachian after this. Like they bite you in the neck and you start dipping backer and saying yonder and stuff, it would happen. But
just remember, next time you smell something dead, run across the roadkill, you'll go, that's nasty Kyarn right there. Yeah. Smells like pure Kyarn, rotted death.
I love the smell of Kyarn in the morning.
Hey, yeah, nothing like it. That's part of waking up. Hopefully no Kyarn in your gun. Because if the Kyarn's in your
we
gun,
made a bunch of references about Kyarn throughout this whole interview, so I mean, we did something. Right. And Jake, just real quick, what social media and streaming platforms are you guys on so you can check out your music and interact?
So we are on all major streaming platforms. Our Bandcamp is set up. We're actually adding our CDs. We got the physical copies in. So we'll have CDs, a bunch of new merchandise. For a long time, we were the band that had more shirts than we had songs out in the world. So we'll have a ton of merchandise this week. The CDs will be on there starting June 13th. So Bandcamp, Facebook, Spotify, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I think we're even on Roblox as a part of the Distro Kid package. So if you're playing Roblox and try to look us up, by all means, enjoy your Roblox time with Kyarn. Multifaceted.
It'll work out somehow. So
Truly.
Life finds a way. So, all right. But to close out like this.
What's that Jurassic Park? Jurassic Park quote, life finds a way. Yeah, true.
Life finds a way. So, that's a wonderful life. I'll do that too. So.
No, indeed. See, I thought I was going to do another Jurassic Park quote. That's a huge pile of shit.
Yeah, we're somewhere between that one, somewhere between life will find a way. That's a huge pile of shit. You be the
I mean, it happens at one point or another. I mean, at one point, you're going to find a pile of shit somewhere.
Fair enough.
Let alone stepping in water, it goes down your leg. So watch out for that. All right. But to close out like this, everyone, I guess today we're Jase, and we got Jake, Mike, and Bobby. They're hailing from the lovely state of Kentucky right here. So they're part of the band Kyarn. So make sure you don't pronounce it wrong there too. I know it's deceiving, but it's in the Appalachian tongue. Our little slang term, I don't know, because we got yams up here. So.
You really got to relax your jaw. Kyarn.
Kyarn.
Hey, you got it. Fucking right. Good job, buddy.
I mean, I figured like a little drawl afterwards, like what you get with them Southern folks in
you'll
different
be
Bible
famous
states.
fried chicken before you know it. Yeah. Say it a few times. The thing you know, you'll be wanting to plant bluegrass in your yard.
Something like that. But, excuse me. All right. So make sure you go to him on all streaming platforms and all social media and everything here too. Let's go help our brothers out there. And on a serious note, go help your brothers out and also Kentucky right there who are struggling, wherever they may be, here and beyond. So, boys, thank you again so much again for coming out here, mates. So, you all stay safe because you know it is one pretty fucked up world out there.
Oh, yeah. Hope we all make it till tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Hopefully. Hey, wait, real quick. Everyone, hold a pose. Stay tuned, y'all.